Yeah, come on down. We're gonna have fun. The Jules works fine for everyone. So come on down. We're gonna make it right. That Jules works fine with you tonight. Right, have fun at the show.
Thanks, Michael Handler. Just made us a trailer.
Sweet to me, she just ain't what she used to be, just a little high-headed, that's a plain to see. Don't get above your reason, stay down to earth with me. Now looky here, gal, don't you high-head me, I ain't forgot what you used to be, when you didn't have nothing, that was plain to see. Don't get above your reason, stay down to earth with me. You not hold your head so high every time you pass me by, but it don't mean nothing to me, you see. Don't get above your reason, stay down to earth with me. Now looky here, gal, you better be yourself and leave that other stuff on the shelf. You're a country baby, and that's plain to see. Don't get above your reason, stay down to earth with me.
This song is called Rustler's Moon, which is also the title of my first novel, set up in northern New Mexico in the late 1800s, a little town of Cimarron in Colfax County. And it's kind of based in the context of the Colfax County Wars. That was a time when the politicians in Santa Fe cared more for their lining their own pockets than they did for the well-being of their constituents. Thank goodness we're past all that. It's loosely based in historical fact, which means it's a pack of lies that I made up. Rustler's Moon.
The first time I saw him, he was standing on a hill, looking 10 times larger than life. But I can't erase the image, I guess I never will. After all the years, it cuts just like a knife. He said, howdy cowboy, now ain't you mighty young to travel down the road to rage and ruin? But if you got the notion, if you got a gun, we ride tonight by the light of the rustler's moon. He's setting out in long little travels when the moon is full and bright. The posse on your trail is hard to shake. But if you travel with the new moon, you travel without light, and your horse won't make it far if his leg breaks. The quarter moon's the answer, the old man's on your side. The time to seize the night is coming soon. So saddle up those horses, it's time for us to ride and try our luck by the light of the rustler's moon. 'Cause we ride at night by the light of the rustler's moon, shining through our souls. We live or die underneath the sky by the light of the rustler's moon. The rustler's moon. Together with me staring at his back. By the moonlight it was all I could see. And out there on the dusty trail I think that I lost track. I wondered what was him and what was me. Time was when I swear I would have followed him to hell to fight the devil's minions in the gloom. And never could see clear enough to break his magic spell by the light of the rustler's moon. Finally the sun rose, I saw the light of day. I thank the Lord I hadn't gone too far. No more quarter moon for me, I had to find my way by the light of a shining silver star. For though we went our separate ways, we vowed to meet again. Deep inside our hearts we both knew the law and the outlaw, it's bound to be or him in the light of the rustler's moon. 'Cause we ride at night by the light of the rustler's moon, shining through our souls. We live or die underneath the sky by the light of the rustler's moon, the rustler's moon. I saw him, he was standing on a hill, looking 10 times larger than life. Well, I can't erase the image, I guess I never will. After all the years it cuts just like a knife. But he said, howdy cowboy, your pony sure can run. But I never thought I'd see you quite so soon. But if you mind to catch me, I hope you brought your gun. And I hope that you can aim by the light of the moon. 'Cause we ride tonight by the light of the rustler's moon, shining through our souls. We live or die underneath the sky by the light of the rustler's moon, the rustler's moon.
Miracle Cat! Vampire Bat! Cuddling up, sucking my blood, curling up under the rug. Miracle Cat! Vampire Bat! Miracle Cat!
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold, through the parka's fold it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in on this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of a moan, "It's the cursed cold and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet it tain't being dead, it's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in the land of death, and I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb and my heart, how I cursed that load. In the long, long night by the lone firelight, while the huskies, round in a ring, howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow, and on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was running low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there did lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. "And here," said I, with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying round, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, "I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked." Then the door I opened wide, and there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see for a mile, and he said, "Please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear that you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Robert Service.
We are low on time. There's usually a host, but that's why they've been words on screen. And real quick, I want to honor some of our poets. We have Poetry Show. Melanie Lamb Faithful has this beautiful book, Says and Sinners, with these photographs that you're not going to get to see much of. I apologize. This is her poem, Melanie Lamb Faithful. Wearing halos is known to cause headaches. They never fit the way you want. To husbands, you're a goody two-shoes. To parents, you're a sinner instead of a halo. I want a cluster of stars encircling my head like Virgin Mary, or an honest-to-goodness goddess. That would cure all women of headaches if they could just wear goddess crowns instead of goddamn halos. By Melanie Lamb Faithful, from her beautiful book, Saints and Sinners, and photographs, including this cat, and there's one at my feet, are by Sally Nelson Cruz. There's the cat walking by. And so we're going to do a quick one. Red Shuttleworth from a Wolf Moon. And Red is someone who is involved in the show that I've never met yet, but know through Jim Jones. The Trouble of Clean Regret. Back at the end before you start over again. You remember her long rain-drenched hair. Pastel flowers and leaves, October like cans of chicken noodle soup and saltines. Or there is no starting it over. An old house with dirty windows, bug-eyed ranch children never dreaming they'll want to break away, head for stark suburbia. And you know she'll never lose her shine or take to pills or store-front alternatives, medicine gurus. Back at the end, you take turns speaking from slender books. Red Shuttleworth, who does his own artwork, and one by Jules from the Jules One a Day website, and one of the performers, David Thomas, came out together this word, but hey, what on the gods, not always green earth is that? Nothing, just a foolish, fun, made-up term by accident. And what makes life interesting is the little things, great, small, real, by Stephen Jules Rubin. And we are almost out of time. Thank you very much for checking out Jules Works Follies. You can go to the Jules Works Follies YouTube channel. Keep a track when live events occur. Thank you to Teatro Paguas and everyone, and Theater Santa Fe, and Stephen Jules Rubin. All of the performers, I would say more if I could, but we are on a strict time limit. But thank you. Enjoy. Salute.
Dear old southern home, I was happy as I could be, where the mockingbirds sing at night while I rest in that little old log cabin by the sea. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. Dear old mother and dad, when I left I know I made them sad, but someday I'm going back to that little cabin shack where I spend my happy days as a lad. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. Goodbye, friends, I'm leaving today. Goodbye, I'm going far away. I'll be happy as can be on my dear old mother's knee in that little old log cabin by the sea.
Are you waiting just for me, my darling?
Hello, folks, and welcome to the Jules Works Follies. This episode brought to you by Ken Kesey and the Merry Pranksters, featuring Russa and Roland Kirk at the second annual perennial, it was for 2 years, Poetic Hoo-Ha, put on by Ken Kesey at Eugene's Mac Court. Yes, it really happened about 25 years ago or so. And, I was there. It was great. Roland Kirk had them stop the car from the airport so he could go out and feel a tree. Then he peeled some bark off of it and ate it. So he could be, like one with the tree. He wanted to know what an Oregon tree was really like. It was a great show, though, but now we have another show to do. This edition of Jules Works Folly I'm glad to be part of, and I will be playing something or other over on the big sofa here tonight at the Handler Inn. This a result of a trip to Meow Wolf. All right, guys, we'll be with you soon. Okay, where did I go?
Hey, is this thing on? There we go. Yes, this thing's on. All right. Oh, damn it. Everything's all... Oh, give me 1 minute. Son of a metaphysical biscuit. All right, hold on. Yes, I think you can hear me, but you can't really see me, so give me a minute. Oh, tech stuff. I tell you what, this tech stuff, I need to be a drunk gamer, not a me. That's okay. That makes sense in some world. All right, let's see. Are you gonna pick me up? Because watch this. Da, 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 da. There we go. Now you see me, right? Oh, I remembered your stuff. You calm yourself, young lady. No time for that. That's a joke. You're in there. I put the blue. Anyway, hey, can I do this intro? Because we're never gonna get a show if I keep getting interrupted by myself. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. It is what, 5:30 something, so that means the show that's already been airing for 25 minutes will now begin. As I've said, this is later than I intended. Hey, what is your problem? Not you. Oh gosh, there's so many things. Okay, you're not the one. Video capture. Come on, other camera. Video Dell, there you are. I see you. You can't fool me. Well, you already did fool me. There we go. All right, ready? Showtime! Michael, I hope you know I wasn't messing with you. I was messing with you. Okay, there you are. Here, see? Go ahead. 7:30, that's very confusing. I don't know what that means. Is that what time it is? Oh. Yeah, for you, East Coaster. Thank you. Okay. Hi. Da, da, da. Do you think Super Ranch will fly like that? Or like that? That's the most important question of the night that you need to ponder. And I apologize. As you saw in the chat, I don't know what asshole... Well, I certainly didn't have anything to do with jury duty, but what asshole put a car appointment, a regular doctor appointment, fears of more work, and the deadline. So some of what you just heard, as we go backwards before we go forwards, comes from Metaphysical Biscuits. It comes from, I figured it out. Oh, yeah, more than one of you are in New York. You win. Is Lydia Manuel? I think she's Mountain. No, we're Mountain Time, idiot. Central. But anyway, yeah, so thank you. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I'm the only idiot in the Mountain Time so far. Well, that's not true. Some people aren't talking. I love those. Secret. You don't know the mayor could be watching. We don't know. There's more viewers than are in the chat. I can tell you that I know that. Mayor, if you're watching, can I get some affordable housing? For a lot of people, not just me. I'm not being selfish. Yes, I am. Selfish for things that I want for other people too. Does that count? Okay, where's my list for crying out quietly? Yeah, no, Susie. I meant to say Lydia Manuela. I don't know where she is. Or is she also in PA? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay. Should I put that timer back on? That was pretty dope. Yeah, so when I was learning how to do this, you can put a timer in OBS, and actually that I haven't, I'm sure it's not hard, I have not ever done, because I always do that timer. I don't know, I stumbled into some video, and yes, this is Hayes. Is Hayes watching? Yes, of course Hayes is watching. I mean, didn't you just see he posted on Patreon, and I made him read the quote that pointed out, I think he saw my post, by the way. Okay, so what they're talking about, Lydia Manuel and maybe Susie, are people that I've met through other live streams. Todd Snyder on Sundays. This is my Todd Snyder Jumpy. I'm Jumpy. And then Alone Together Tuesday is Hayes Carl that we watch. And so I had, if you joined the Patreon, which I did once I won a free record when I was pretty much back there, pretty much undressed after work. But that was just because I was trying to get ready to watch Tuesdays, and some of the time, I mean, I don't know why people don't pick times of their shows for me, because Purple Building at 11 Nashville, they're not there. Todd Snyder is not there at 11 a.m. There's no way that dude. He says good afternoon at the time. So why do they air that? I don't know. Noon even, because that's 10, 9, 8 here, and it's too late for you guys. And 5 is a little early, which is really 6, but anyway. White people in their time. It's really hard to keep up with. Hey, you better come back, viewers. Thank you. It worked, see? I saw people pop back up. And when they stop, when they go away or chat and don't chat, I know it changes things. You told me that. Hey, Margot. As I said on the radio, I said last stream, 2 streams ago, you had a nice, concise word. So everybody, can we get... Okay, yeah, Lydia's in Mesh, so I thought. Can we get... You can recall that word. It isn't. It's a simple word of saying like you say in our chat, to reclaim a word. So in your case, Crip Productions, which I'm jumping to the end of the show at the beginning. Go figure. But the N word, all these words. Lots of people do that. They take that word. 2 chats ago, I swear, you put in a succinct word to do that. Nap. Wait, you need to know how to say you can nap. Hey, smartass count. It might have been reclaimed. Smartass comments only distract the show. Oh, nap before. Sorry. I was like, that doesn't sound like maybe Susie to be a smart Alex. Okay. All right. Wasn't I going to start the show? Wasn't I going to tell you what you saw? No, I'm going to be disgusting. First, and now I'm going to do that. I'm sorry, I can't be professional because I'm going to try. And then there's pieces. Why this show started late, even the intro card, is because I had not gotten time, because time got away from me, to make, you'll see the host, but you'll see 3 pieces at once through VLC player. But I had to get that ready, turn it on, click buttons, and blah, blah, blah. And so anyway, let's see. So you saw a trailer that came from last show when I ran into Michael Handler, a local, mostly based, well-respected harmonic player, friend of Jules Works. I think he jumped on stage once at a live show. Oh, you didn't see the clip yet where he says he thinks it's his first one. That's what the only thing I didn't put in there, because that was for last show, but I decided to re-air it because that worked. You saw the trailer before the countdown, if you were there, with Stella watching. I got home a month ago, so he heard my voice at Albertson's. Michael Handler ended up in the show, which is as cool as people watching that I met through a live stream. Is my point. Back to finish the Hayes story. I wrote hundreds to 1,000 people watch Todd and Hayes and respectively Tuesday and Sunday, but the Patreon get their private show, and so the other day was one of those. I missed the first one because it was on the Friday when it worked. So I started a long-winded comment, as you can see, I'm a little long-winded, by saying thank you for doing it when I don't work. And so I think he sort of skipped over, but in the chat, he saw me say, did I get skipped? Because he was going in order. And he said, yes, sorry. And I think he was glad he unskipped as to why one of the fellow Hayes fans, Leah and Susie, posted perhaps one of the secret viewers is him, because I said how cool it was that he made these kinds of things happen, and those good live streams inspired this bad live stream. It's not that bad. I've seen worse. Anyway, you have to read the manual, you have to learn, and it is something that gamers do. That's why I mentioned the joke about 6-packs of gamers. Okay, so countdown, Michael Handler's intro, and hi, I'm Stephen Jules Rubin, and the deadline you'll hear a little bit more about throughout the show and some of the pieces, and you saw some, was for Theatre Walk Santa Fe. There's something called Theatre Spelled the British Way, as Margaret and I talk about again, jumping to the end of the show at the sort of beginning. TheaterSantefe.org. Can anything in the world be simple? It's time to get a drink. You will probably have already bought it. I gotta shut up in a minute and get you going into the first scene of stuff. But I wanted, so that was due yesterday. So I've been home all week doing something really hard for me as opposed to just talking. And then therefore had no time to prepare for this until I woke up, which was like an hour ago. No, it wasn't quite. But anyway, so I made that deadline. We made that deadline of a 15-minute piece that I don't think we're the only one that turned in 1 minute, 8 second extra. It was that or not, be in it myself, other than the chats. So it's called that piece that you'll see later. Well, I'm not going to say that. Okay. Anyway, so in mid-April, that'll premiere. Oddly enough, I can't give you a whole lot of details because Theater Santa Fe hasn't put them up. I don't know if they think because either they're worried that I was going to ruin everything, or a lot of the people in the troupe, just to be honest, in Santa Fe theater scene are older and don't have video experience, and some of them have shown evidence that they don't want to ask for help when they could, so they submit things. So maybe they didn't post until they know after this weekend, since the deadline was Friday. And I figured with the 1 minute, 8 seconds, certainly for me, when someone says, just like, I think it's actually rude to start a show. I meant to start the music at 5. If you start something right on time, I get movie times. You're just asking, at least in Santa Fe, for somebody to come in late, because it's what's going to happen. Now this is live, so it's different. And I really wanted to start the music at 5. So for that, I owe myself a drink, and you. But I put the chat away like that. There you go. Oh, you guys are going off. Are you telling me to shut up? You're welcome, my friends. Oh, thanks. Anyway, I can't read that chat right now. We're never going to get going. But I will in a minute. And chat away, as Todd Snyder says, we stole and they stopped saying it, so I can stop crediting him. Livestream can change the world. I say, I think I adjusted it now to more like, chat away, Livestream can change our worlds. And that does tie into Hayes and Todd and Lydia and Susie, because that's how we're connected. And then as you can see in the chat, maybe Susie and Crypt Video Productions is Margot Cole, who on Facebook is Una. You think I'm confusing. Anyway, you'll see more about all those people and the many others as we get this show going. But in the intro pieces, you saw stuff from Theater Santa Fe. Can you remember? Okay, if I accidentally... It's a little confusing with these scenes. I know how I can check what you saw, but I hopefully won't change the scene. We're still going, right? Yeah. I need to turn my monitor in the bedroom with the kitties up. But I hear me. You can't. So one thing that had been aired, and I'm not going to name names this time, is you can turn on the monitor. So the first show I aired, I turned on the monitor halfway, so we had pieces dropping out of audio. But you can't turn on the mic, you get feedback, is my point. All right, we had David Tom on April 4th, Uncle DT. So all the pieces in the beginning card and the end card are extras. But each artist that says they want to contribute gets their own piece unmessed with. And as I've said, much of it will be in sets of 3s. So that was David Tom doing Don't Get Above Your Raisin. And as I call him, that's a song made famous, I don't know who wrote it, by Marty Stort, Hairman, whose hair should be a national treasure as well as himself. And if you haven't seen Ken Burns' Country, you'll definitely see plenty of Marty Stort. And some of the last recorded pieces, John Prine did live with him. Great. Yeah. So, good one, Susan. What did she say? Yes, the revolution is being live streamed right now. But someone has to give Todd that memo because I resaw one of his pieces and he did say something. I guess the revolution. No, Todd might have said it too. Sturgill Simpson. He got an award. I just saw a clip and Sturgill said, "I guess the revolution will be Stella, where are you? Televised." Because I think what he meant was they told him not to get political in this acceptance speech and blah blah. Okay, so Jim Jones was after David Tom with his. See, I've learned now not to give things such long titles, but when they're in multiple folders, it's hard. Do you want to know what I'm babbling about that? See, okay. Anyway, Jim Jones, Wrestler's Moon, who, as he said, you can get his book. And so Jules Works has been, since I moved here from the East Coast, I've been born here half my life. We started right away, short plays and all that. And then it's interesting as from the late 90s, venues and how people recorded even theater, the evolution of digital camera went from, I first played in the late 90s, your phone is 9,000 times better, your crappy phone is 9,000 times better camera-wise. But anyway, so we started doing some movie stuff, and then we were doing a live show. It's been almost a decade of doing this variety show. And as I put in words on the screen for Theater Walk Santa Fe, on the side of the David Tom thing, it said, "Oh, it's so good." Yes, you're right. The Ken Burns Country. I watched the trailer 20 times. Not to mention the concert and the whole piece. So it's so good, so good. And then I just got, speaking of live stream special events, watched one the PBS aired of a local authors, including we have a lot that retired or lived here. Jim Jones would have counted, but he wasn't in this one. But a fellow named David, whatever his name is, I'll think of it in a minute. He wrote the book Rambo, David Morrell, and he's a teacher. And Rambo, the first book and the first movie, script-wise and direction, are very good. After the first one, that's not David's material. So anyway, they were talking about the new Ken Burns Hemingway thing. Is what I was saying. So yes, the third thing was that he goes by Evless now. That was Caracal Cat, and that is speaking of when I first got here and connecting and growing Jules' works from short plays and Oda's career. Jules is Stephen Rubin's alter ego. As an alter ego, Oda's career, and that is co-played by Brett Berman. So that was Evless. He lives in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico now. And then Quest Ion, one of our performers, who also has a troupe, Avon Lux, and a collective. That was his piece from the past, Queen Split. And you'll see a few pieces from his folks and videos. And then Jim Jones' poem, I think, is the one you said you loved. The Cremation of Sam McGee. And then I read the poems that was my piece from Theater Walk that I included. With a Melanie Faithful poem, a Red Shuttleworth poem, and I'll read one more of each of those in my poem. So my ego was wondering if you meant my poem, but you didn't, and that's okay. And then we had and then we had the Good Ride Cowboy Way, or is that where we ended it? Yes. Are you waiting just for me? And the Barbecue Pit. I knew there was one more. Okay, so that was the last one, and then I ended with cut off the other one. David Tom, Southern Barbecue. So that's what you heard so far. And now it is time for the show to actually begin. Rose, if you're not here by now, don't say I'm always late. As I say, you can call me anything you want, but on time. Anyway, so our first three pieces, and then I get to go away, calm down, get a drink. And let me tell you about the bulk of the show, is you're going to see pieces from those people and a couple others. And at the end, we have three traditions now. One is, which will be in about an hour from now, no, a little more, a chat, a conversation, and Stephen Jules Rubin turns hosting over to Jules Oda's career in a minute, or now. Hi, Stephen Jules Rubin's leaving. Hey. Hi, they call me Radio Nut. I love radio, but I think there's some kind of connection between radio and internet streams. But when I think about it, I gotta go to the bathroom. But we'll talk about that more later. So anyway, I get to host this. I got cut out of this theater walk thing because they thought I'm too weird, but I'm sort of in it. Anyway, there'll be a chat between the host at the end with Margot Cole this time and a toast. And that's a 18-minute conversation that'll feel like 5 and a toast and a lot of good info. But by then, if you haven't had a drink, then definitely get one. But you can start now, whatever you do. Milk, heroin, eat an edible, have fun. And because I'm about to get ready. I gotta get my milk. I gotta get my milky. My grandpa used to always say, drink your milky. Hey, don't be so serious with this podcast radio thing. It's a joke. Like, okay, I better tell you that to set the character of me. I'm hiding right here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There's a Calceroga circus. No one can ever find me. I'm hiding here. Galisteo off of south. There's that Southside Radio Zia St. Francis station that no one uses for the rail runner. So no one can ever find me because I'm hiding in my hobbit den here. Okay, get it? I'm not all here. Screws loose. Wrench. All right. So let me shut my big mouth. And the next 3 pieces at once are going to be Rose Provon, Grandma Speaks, a.k.a. Ruth Scams Jules. And that is you're going to see 3 parts throughout this little piece here. And then you're going to see a song from David Tom. Just recorded The Fox. David Tom, a.k.a. Uncle DT. And recorded at his Southern barbecue pit, Uncle TT's Barbecue. And he says The Fox is for the kids. And then we have the return of Danette Sills, one of many Jules Works' loyalists. Oh, and sarcasm doesn't come over well on chat. And I didn't know you were being sarcastic because I thought you thought I was actually asking that question. So that's okay. We're all friends here. Say what you want. I love all y'all because you're here. Okay, hush up. Yes, we are fabulous and unique. It's true. And I will say that the 16-minute, 8-second, 15-minute piece that you'll see along with many other troops in theater, Santa Fe, is that deadline, that pain, that editing. It gave us a tight piece, which is abnormal and good that we'll have. Okay. So, the third piece is the return of Danette Sills and her character, Professor BB, she called it, so I had to write Beatrice Beetlebum spelling because I didn't have time to look up. Not just too lazy, obviously didn't have time. And it's called the COVID-19 Talk. So, let's watch those 3 pieces and I'll be back. Y'all ready for that? Can I get it? Anyone? You sleeping? Oh, don't be sorry. I'm kidding. How can I judge anyone for sarcasm, smart alecksness, etc.? I'm waiting for some applause that you want to see the next piece. I'm not going to start the piece until somebody types that they're ready. Because what if you're not ready? Are you ready? Is that a ready? Yay? I'm being a smart aleck. All right. I think it's time. Thank you. There we go. Sincerity. Linus says, Linus, the sincerest. I've got the sincerest blankie and the pumpkin patch. All right, I'm gone. Enjoy the next piece. The 3 piece.
Hi, Jules. I just love chatting with you. How's Jules Works coming along? I bet you have a lot of musical numbers, but do you have any comedy? I've been working on a comic rant for you, but there's this little problem. You know, it's the end of the month, and I am out of money. Do you think you could send me a Target gift card? Then I could buy the props and have something perfect for Theater Walk.
prayed for the moon to give him light. Many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh. Many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. Oh. Well, he ran till he came to a great big bend. The ducks and the geese were put therein. A couple of you are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh. A couple of you are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Well, they grabbed the gray goose by the neck, threw the little ones over his back. He didn't mind their quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down, oh, down, oh, down, oh. He didn't mind their quack, 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 the legs all dangling down, oh. Well, old Mother Pitter-Patter jumped out of bed. She ran to the window and stuck out her head, crying, John, John, the gray goose is gone. The fox is on the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. John, John, the gray goose is gone. The fox is on the town, oh. Old John, he ran to the top of the hill. He blew his horn both loud and shrill. I said I better get home with my kill, for they'll soon be on my trail. Oh, trail, oh, trail, oh. Fox said I better get home with my kill, they'll soon be on my trail. Oh. Well, he ran till he got back home again. There were the little ones, 8, 9, 10, crying, Daddy, Daddy, go back again, 'cause it must be a mighty fine town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. Daddy, Daddy, better go back again, 'cause it must be a mighty fine town. Well, the fox's wife, without any strife, cut up the goose with a carving knife. They never had such a supper in their life, and the little ones chewed on the bones, oh, the bones, oh, the bones, oh. They never had such a supper in their life, the little ones chewed on the bones, oh.
Hello, I'm Professor Beatrice Beetlebaum, head of the Medieval History Department at the University of Dung Creek, No Puddle, and welcome to my webcast, Living, Hopefully, with Pandemic. Today I want to talk about what has been affecting us, all of us, for the last year of our lives. I want to discuss the worldwide pandemic, COVID-19. Now, COVID-19, as we have all come to know it, is most likely thought to have come from the Wuhan province in China. There are still many differing theories as to its origin. However, the most widely accepted one is that this disease is a SARS-type virus that began in bats and jumped species to infect the human population. To begin with, some thoughts on SARS-type viruses, or severe acute respiratory syndrome. They are a type of viral respiratory illness caused by a coronavirus. The initial SARS outbreak began in Asia in February of 2003. According to the World Health Organization, a total of 8,098 people worldwide became sick with SARS during the 2003 outbreak. Of these, 774 died. In the United States, only 8 people had laboratory evidence of SARS-CoV infection. CoV indicating coronavirus. All of these people had traveled to other parts of the world where SARS was spreading. SARS did not spread more widely in the United States. Now, a word about coronaviruses. Common human coronaviruses usually cause mild to moderate upper respiratory tract illnesses, like the common cold. Most people get infected with one or more of these viruses at some point in their lives. The SARS-CoV-2 virus, most commonly known as COVID-19, is a particularly virulent and transmissible form of coronavirus and is responsible for the worldwide pandemic in which we find ourselves. It is odd to know that many common cold viruses are coronaviruses. In the case of COVID-19, it is a coronavirus that became a highly transmissible and deadly disease. There is even some up-to-the-minute research that suggests the rhinovirus species of the common cold can actually compete in the body with the COVID-19 virus. And the common cold wins! It knocks out the ability of the COVID-19 virus to heavily infect the body. This research comes from right here in the UK, through the University of Glasgow. In any case, we have reached a point in this long, dangerous, and disturbing year where there is truly light at the end of the tunnel. We currently have at least 4 major vaccines worldwide that grant protection from, at the very least, the worst effects of COVID-19. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and most recently, AstraZeneca have developed effective vaccines to combat COVID-19 worldwide. I myself received my first Moderna vaccine injection about a month ago and will have my second vaccine on April 2nd. So, my dear viewers, it has been a year unknown in modern human history since the 19 Spanish flu pandemic. To date, there have been 124,378,693 cases worldwide, with 2,736,980 confirmed deaths. Humankind is ever at risk for new viruses that may rise to the level of pandemic. But take heart. By following the practical information provided us by science, we have the tools to fight COVID-19 and any future pandemics. So, to bring us up to date with COVID-19, here are the scientific medical recommendations. 1. Wear a mask in public. If you are able to do so, get vaccinated with whatever approved vaccine is available to you. 3. Keep socially distanced unless you and all other members of your party have been fully vaccinated. And it has been 14 days since your second injection, unless you have received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is only 1 injection. 4. Stay vigilant. New strains of the virus are appearing. However, it seems that all current vaccines are effective against it. 5. Be hopeful. Once we have reached herd immunity, approximately 70 to 80% of the population, we will, for all intents and purposes, have beaten COVID-19. So, let us once again practice proper hand-washing etiquette. Today, I want to introduce my assistant, Agatha, who will lead us in a time-appropriate ditty.
I'm Agatha Rumsford. I have worked with Professor Beetlebaum here in the Medieval History Department at the University of Dunkirk for quite some time. I'm not very comfortable in front of the camera, but, well, you see, the professor thought it might be nice to have someone else do like a different kind of song bit that she does. So here goes. Under blue moon I saw you, so serious you made me. Up in the air, the time it goes by, and here I am just talking, and I'm killing time. You aren't mine. Anyhow, that's about it. So, as Professor Beetlebaum would say, stay safe and stay well. Thank you.
All right, hey there. Hi. Is this thing on? Speaking of Todd Snyder jokes. Uh-oh, not again with that. Okay, hang on. I totally forgot that my video captures were messed up. But I think you can hear me. Right? You hear me? Yes, you hear me. Okay, here comes the video. Yes. Stop it. Are you kidding? It's not. Behave yourself. Sorry guys, I do not want to be airing crap, but there we go. No, it's not behaving. Okay. Stupid errors. Oh, that's toast. Okay, this is it. Yeah. I'm upside down. I'm gonna leave me upside down because that's how this show is. This is just a little inside out. That's all. We're still watching content and getting to know one another. And oh god, which one was it? Video, this one? Yes. Oh. All right. Hi. Hey. Okay. So, stay safe. We don't need this. Nothing wrong with one that's being upside down. That's how life is, right? Nice hat. See? The lunatic is in my head. Or on it. Hey! Get it? Get it? The lunatic is in my head. The lunatic is on my head. That's a really nice hat. Beatrice loaned it to me. Okay, so that was, and of course now I'm too loud in the bedroom. That was Rose Provine Part 1, The Fox, David Tom, and Danette Sills playing all those characters. So next we have Evlis, Brett Berman, I was saying, and then I decided to move on and forgot. But he used to live here in Santa Fe, and we connected. Greg Turner, who in our live shows, the tradition was Greg Turner, who used to be in the Angry Samoans, would play first. He ends. That's the other tradition. And then, as Margot will point out in the toast, the other third tradition is like at the beginning, if you want to stick around, there'll be some bonus material. But anyway, moving forward, the next set of 3 is going to be The Fancy Wanted Man piece by Evlis, and it's Mr. PQ with his partner down there in Truth or Consequences. Says right here, the TRC's foremost arts and music ensemble. And so the Caracal Cat that was in the intro piece was from a previous month. This is one brand new, Fancy Man. And then, speaking of drinking, Cowboy Coffee. Jim Jones manages to play Cowboy Coffee in this version for kids, even though Cowboy Coffee definitely means the next time you see me, I'm going to have my bourbon. I like the upside down one. D. Blands and Jim Jones wrote it. Jim's playing it live at the Lone Star Cowboy Poetry Gathering, February 21st, 2020, over there in Alpine, Texas. And then you're going to see part 2 of 3, the longer segment of the 3. Grandma Speaks, Grandma a.k.a. Cake. Scams Jules. Sorry your host is so terrible. I think it's time to hit go. And remember, this time, ahead of time, to fix the camera stuff for the next one. Okay, enjoy the next 3 pieces. Thank you so much. Get more to drink and eat and imbibe, and back.
Fancy wanted man. I go dancing in the park. I am well dressed when I can. I only go out after dark. I'm the fancy wanted man. I'm the fancy wanted man. I'm a fancy wanted man. I go dancing in the park. I am well dressed when I can. I only go out after dark. I'm the fancy wanted man. I'm the fancy wanted man. I'm wanted.
Tractor broke down, boss sent me to town to pick up some rods for the welding. Well, it was rainy and cold, and I was needing a jolt to that caffeinated hangover helper. I saw a sign with a cup, so I parked the truck, a place named for celebrity deer Starbucks. It was the middle of the day, folks were typing away, talking up storms on their cell phones. There's nobody I knew to give a how do you do, and the music wasn't Haggard or George Jones. Then a teenage girl with bright purple curls said Frappuccino is half price today. I said, no ma'am. Old black, hot, and certainly not from France or mocha or latte. Pour it into the mug, fill it all the way up. I just want some cowboy coffee. Well, she said, if you like something nice, we got iced pumpkin spice, or maybe espresso pompagna. The cafe bistro we've got, well, it's served really hot, so try not to spill any on ya. And if you buy a CD, you get a bran muffin free. Why, that's John Tesh who's playing right now. No, man. I like black, hot, and certainly not from France or mocha or latte. Pour it into my mug, fill her all the way up. I just want some cowboy coffee. Well, it was easy to see she had nothing for me, so I walked on down to the hardware. And from the back room I could smell sweet perfume. It buckled my knees what I found there. Well, old Bob had a pot, it was a bubbling hot, and a line of cowboys out the door. 'Cause it was black, hot, and certainly not from France or mocha or latte. Well, I held out my mug and old Bob filled her up. Man, I finally got my cowboy coffee. Bob charged me for my cowboy coffee. $5 for my cowboy coffee.
Reckon I might try some of them bran muffins after all.
Hi there, my friends. I have a little makeup tutorial for you. And I put on my foundation already because, well, that's boring. But what I need, of course, is some color. Oh, my goodness, what a white person. So here we have some pink. Pink is good. Yes, let me see. Yes, that's nice and pink. And speaking of pink, how about lipstick? Lipstick is good. Yes, yeah. Now you can see my mouth. Yes, and then we have concealer. Probably I should conceal my entire face, but I guess this will have to do. And then I have eyeshadow, more color, of course. And here we go. Yes, this is purple. That's fun. And, oh, not as much fun as I thought. Let me try a little blue. I think eyeshadow is always supposed to be blue. And here it is. Oh, yes, that's very blue. Yes. And other eye. Now, did all of you get the Vogue magazine for the month of March? In it, there's this great article about eyeliner. Eyeliner is the latest thing. So I have my eyeliner pencil, if I can get it apart, and I will start on my eye and off to the side as much as I can do it. Yes, that's startling. And now, what about the other side? Oh dear, I can't do the other side. This mirror is not exactly a mirror. It gets me all confused. So, well, that's a start, but right now, I'm afraid I need to get some more props.
Okay, sorry she got cut off there. She said more props. Hi there. All right. Have you all been pondering whether Superman tends to fly or should like that or like that? Keep pondering or chat. All right. So thank you. That was a list, please. That was part 2. Grandma Speaks. Grandma, aka Ruth, scams Jules, part 2. And so the Jules Works Follies part of our mission is first of all open to anyone to participate, whether it's live or via this stuff. And anybody that's willing, so that's why the shows are always too long, or interested, gets to be in usually. And some people are in 1 month and not others, and some folks seem to be consistent. Some drop out for a long time, some do it once, never come back, blah, blah, blah. Some people have never performed. The original intent has always been to create a safe environment. Live was the word, but we don't use that word anymore at the moment. Safe environment for performers to share material with audience, whether that means, for example, a musician locally based with an international name who just put out an album that I think is going to be a nominee, if not winner, with some other big names. John O'Manson for an Americana award. One time he did the show, someone had just given him a banjo, so he took the advantage of such a chance. I just found a photo that was a few years ago of him giving me a funny look or kiss too or something. But anyway, blah, 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 blah. He busted out a banjo because he could. And I had to put that hat back on the lamp in case the cat wants to come. The cat was totally snuggling that Hayes hat the other night while we were watching him. She's in love with it. She likes Mountain Dudes. Anyway, I wouldn't really call him the Mountain Dude. Okay. So yeah, that was, and I was just talking about Jules Works in the Mission. So Grandma is one of our most loyal performers. That's what I was saying. And Jim Jones is a newer loyal performer. I call him a locally based, but originally Texas, Beaumont. As a matter of fact, you Hayes fans out there, he's actually from Beaumont. Didn't Hayes confess the other week that he didn't even know why he mentions Beaumont in his song so much? He's from Arkansas. That ain't where Beaumont is. Beaumont is, some of us have been there, a tiny oil town in Texas where Janis Joplin and Jim Jones and others are from. It's not quite a Lubbock level of a place that, why on earth do so many amazing musicians come from there? But anyway, Cowboy Coffee, which is what you think. Oh yes, it is time. At the beginning of quarantines, my lady friend got me a bottle of this, and then for our anniversary, St. Patrick's, I bought a kit that came with this and some other stuff to make a drink that was very good. But right now, cheers everybody! And what's one of the best sounds in the world besides Cowboy Coffee? Not to mention, even if you don't drink or care about that sound. Oops, come on. So that one of the hardest, okay, live streaming is hard. Getting something framed properly on camera is really hard. Harder than live stream. Bavik. All right, Cowboy Coffee, D-Bance, Jim Jones, live. And then the Eveless, Fancy Wanted Man. And next up, some pieces. I mentioned Avon Lux Collective. Some spell that for you. AVENLUX. And they have a YouTube channel where you can see their mostly electronic music and interesting videos they've made. So in the Theater Santa Fe, there is a piece from Avon Lux. This first one is from someone who's collective, so this is a new thing. Avon Quest Ion, so he goes by Q. Fittingly, he's a computer technician, and in the summer, just as I started a year ago, pretty much, a year minus a couple months, when we started. So we had our Jules Works Follies 63 set to occur at the end of April, which would have been our annual-ish anniversary birthday salute. I'll more on that in a few. Q fixed my Mac that is now wet and covered because it leaks. I live in a slumlord. I hate my living. Anyway, now this is 2 years in a row. I ditched Apple. 2 years in a row ranked best machine, not Apple, for editing and radio, which is what I do. Todd. See, it's so hard. I found my thermo. I don't know if anybody noticed in the last Todd Snyder live stream chat. I said someone was bragging about wearing a thermo, and they couldn't. I said I couldn't find mine. Well, tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be up by 10, but I do have my thing, my thermal. All right. Next up, Sound Guy Josh with Spaceline 6, and then a new series, whether or not I remember to carry it on, called Hey, Can I Ask You a Question? 3 questions. I guess hey, can I ask you 3 questions? There we go. It's evolving. Thank you for the help. You'll see why in a minute. And that's with Jules Otis Career Radio Nut host. I go in and out of him. And Danette Sills. And that was trimmed with lots of elegant edits. As was the final piece you're going to see, into small segments for the 15-minute, 16-minute Theater Walk Santa Fe piece. But so I figured I'd air the whole thing here in a minute. And then, so Danette is benchmarked as such, or that's not the right word, sandwiched between 2 pieces of music and video from the collective. So the other one is Neon Beyond, Urban Leroy, and a different music. You'll see the musical style, but the videos are really different and cool. So I think that's enough for this host segment, and hopefully the host won't have to spend as much time in the restroom as he did last break. Although I still remember to fix at least one camera. You don't need to see me upside down every time, but I can copy and paste that if you like it and do it again. Probably will. I might really be upside down next time, or in a few. All right, carrying on. Here we go. Oh, hi there. Hey, hey, can I ask you 3 questions?
Yeah. 3? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
ready?
Yeah. 3's okay. 3's okay.
All right, we don't have much. We have like 2 minutes, so ready? What drives you crazy? They're on stage, and was the other years. True theaters is very city.
Yeah. Well, I love performing. Performing.
Hold on, if you could recreate, update any piece respectfully, what would you do? Whether it's Jules Santa Fe, and what's your dream creative output? Go ahead.
A live magic show. Maybe Lysistrata. The Elephant Man would be really great, especially if you could, like do different kinds of stuff that you put on your face, like you could do it with Play-Doh. Play-Doh Elephant Man would be really cool.
Lysistrata? That was I heard?
Lysistrata, yeah. It would be, it's timely. It's always timely, right? It's thousands of years old, but it's fairly timely. But something grand and something personal at the same time is really cool. And I think there's an audience for it in Santa Fe. Well, there's an audience in Santa Fe for almost everything. It can be big, it can be small, it can be musical, it can be silent, it can be terrifying, it can be in your face, it can be very welcoming and calm, and all those things. I think that always works, and it works with Jules Works. I know from what I know of Jules Works, it's something so people can be present with other people, and you can communicate, and it's a great environment, and it's welcoming, and it's challenging, it's dynamic, and it makes people want to get up off their couches and come to a place and watch other people, or even get up off their couches and get to their computers, unless the computers are right by their couches, which might be a possibility.
Or for this year, it makes them want to get on their couches.
We could make them get on their couches and call up for takeout on the phone while they're on their couches, watching the computer. So all of those things, yeah.
We should start at the Olympics. No, we shouldn't. But I like what was it again? Not Lysistrata. What'd you say?
Elephant Man.
The musical.
The Elephant Man with Play-Doh.
Elephant Man.
The kids could be involved. It could be a child's production of the Elephant Man.
Elephant Man, not Disney-esque musical.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it wouldn't be. It would because it would be kind of sad and different than most Disney musicals. I can't see the Elephant Man as a Disney musical. Yeah.
Our timer went off, but that sounds like it would be the prequel to RoboCop on Ice.
RoboCop on Ice, I think, would be really, really fascinating, especially since you could build the ice skates right into the RoboCop, outfit, and they could just pop out when you needed them.
Body. Like Wolverine.
He could, but instead RoboCop is more, he shoots guns. So, I mean, you would have to deal with that. Yeah. It's more of a gun thing. But you could have sparks coming off of his skates.
That's true. I think we need to start with the Elephant Man Lysistrata for Kids, the musical.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of time. And
really? I have so much more I could be talking about right now, but okay. All right. Well, it was great. It was great meeting with you. Yeah, it was great talking.
If you have a complaint about the length, send it to Theater Santa Fe.
Okay.
Bye. But I got to go because somebody might be coming.
Oh, okay. Well, take care. Be safe.
Bye.
Be well. Bye.
Okay, it's stopped. Oh, no, it isn't.
Hi. All right. Yeah. So, yes, don't you fret. Not. As a matter of fact, I think Lydia or others saw me chatting. This is now time. This is, sorry for those of you that don't drink. Get your milky. I shouldn't drink. I don't know. No, I probably should. Anyway, this is the Bob Dylan made, I've talked to Mike about Bob Dylan. We're not going to go into that as a musician and an arrogant weirdo, but he's done a good thing at the end of his life, besides making, what was it, 300 million off his thing? This is had these bourbons made, and they're great bottles, and they're delicious. So this is a cheers. Those of you that don't drink, I'll pretend it's milk. And yes, Bavik is a strange, awesome beer that I discovered on tap and in these neat cans. So yes, that was a fair question. Baby, for a little, I don't drink that much. I never finish things. I have a little bourbon. There, now you know how to be Jules. Why you would want to be something else. Someone answered, but I forgot already, the Superman. But I have an answer, but I'm not going to. You guys chat a little bit more. So that was, as we carry on, the two pieces from Quest Ion Q's. So Q fixed the computer, and then I found out that, so those Jules Works, Metaphysical Biscuit, by the way, is also the title of the radio show I do, 5 o'clock. I'll give you more info of that. Every Sunday now, 5 o'clock, but on 96.9 FM. But Metaphysical Biscuit means or implies, I'm not sure which, the concept of having a thought. The other one pops up. I do TM, so you learn that training where, unlike strict Eastern or Japanese or Asian meditations that are like, you think you bad, racist accent. But if you're already making comments like this, you can do, you'll think you're bad. They bad. Anyway, TM is a useful 20-minute tool. I just found a clip of Alan and Suzanne Arkin, by the way, thanks in part to watching the Arkin brothers and introducing maybe Susie to that. The Arkin brothers do a great weekly series, and since I took off work to edit Wednesday and Thursday for the Deadline Friday, I got to see the Wednesday night. And Jim Jones, by the way, airs a live stream. So one of the things I was saying, back up, was the mission statement is to give the performers a chance to advertise anything else you have going on. So thanks for thanking me, but that's part of the goal, is giving these shout outs. That's the intent. Obviously, no one's getting paid. But yeah, Metaphysical Biscuit, that's a Metaphysical Biscuit, is getting back to the thought. And it might take a while. And certainly if you try, so meditation, TM teaches you, if you have a thought, you let it go and use your mantra. So if you like, oh, what's that dude's name, for example, you're never going to get that dude's name. But if you just move on, that dude's name might pop back up. So Metaphysical Biscuit is the concept of letting that thought come out and trusting, most likely, if you cut yourself off or the other person, the other thought's going to come back. So I think it did, mostly, for the most part. And I think I finished the callback, as I call it, on the radio show. So, right, the two pieces, Sound Guy Josh, Spaceline 6, the Hey, Can I Ask You a 3 Questions, which, if I remember, will carry on as a series. And Rose, I think she's having tech problems or maybe just got tired. Because she said she didn't know the other ladies by having seen the Theater Walk submission and drafts of things. She said that to me this morning, and I said, well, actually, we would have time today to have Zoomed her, although we kind of wouldn't have, but we would have. But then she had issues sending a tip for the class or PayPal, I don't know, and she got mad, not at me. So I don't even know after her class if she even joined the show. She's probably ignoring my texts and chats or had tech issues. Who knows? But the good thing is, as soon as I stop this is on YouTube, unless I take it off, which I won't, even if it sucked, which I don't think it does. Excuse me. So, yeah. Urban Leroy, and he has an LP, Rafts for Crossing Rivers, that was Neon Beyond. And, yeah. That did play, right? Oh my goodness. Maybe it didn't. Okay, wait a minute. Did it? Yeah, I must have. I just was getting drunk. Okay. All right, Margot, you're still there, right? Because here you go. Up next, we have the trailer for Crip Productions. Oh, yeah, I see what you just wrote, Crip. And just like I call maybe, when you choose a handle like that, and I didn't know if I was outing you with the Una thing, Margot. But when you choose a handle like that, people use it. So right here, no, look. If you're asking here, that's no. Once again, we're having perfect weather at the moment. But generally, this past 18 months, when the rest of the country gets a storm, we get a little bit of it later. But we've had very mild for us. You guys are getting the weather we usually have all the time. that when I first moved here, welcome to New Mexico, I learned this statement. Welcome to New Mexico. If you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Particularly this time of year. Anyway, I interrupted myself again. Woo-wee! I tell you what. Oh, yeah. I forgot. I meant to say, not only was I ready, but then I didn't say it because I wasn't ready. I thought I was going to be ready earlier. And then I didn't. But I have my popcorn ready for the next break. But you're about to see the Stroke of Endurance trailer from Margot Cole of Crip Productions. And then, it's okay. Now I'm confused. And then, thanks to Margot, I forgot. I almost said as she mentioned, but you haven't seen that piece yet. As she will mention, from your point of view, boy, this is like Terminator. Wow. Here comes Sarah Connor. Right? Here's my Linda Hamilton impersonation. You didn't know you'd be getting this today. Boy, a person could go crazy thinking about all this. All right, ready? If I'm going to impersonate Sarah Connor, here comes the great Michael Biehn. You don't understand. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. And it absolutely will not stop until you're dead. Hey, don't do that again. Cyborgs don't feel pain. I do. There. You got a scene from Terminator. Talk about the unexpected in the show. No, the power is going to stay on until the show's over. Probably once it's over, we're all going to lose power. So get your milk and drinks ready. My lady friend is picking up. We now have Jewish food in town, real. It's Passover. Almost forgot. She did pick up a Passover meal. We're going to eat it later. I didn't have time to look up. Yeah. I haven't even texted my mom. That's how bad I am. I will. Don't worry. Bad Jews. I was peeking to make sure that somebody wasn't telling me. Yes, I keep cutting myself off, Crip. But that's I'm trying to say that you brought in Dylan. I was trying to say that you say in the finale that you have students and other colleagues that you're kindly working on getting involved in the show, and this one came through. Yeah, Pesach. How do you say that? Margot, we're such bad Jews. It's Pesach. I don't know. Lashana Tova. That definitely means something. I just know in Yom Kippur you can't say the happy things. Lashana Tova. You can't say anything because you're not supposed to eat. But no Jews really follow that. Not in this country. This is some good shit. This is like your milk. This is as good as your milk. And so is this. Anyway, okay, Sheshio. So you're going to get Dylan Rothbein. Oh, if anyone's in touch with Rose, tell her if she gets her behind on here by the end, I can play her piece as one piece. I can play her piece as I edited it so you'll actually see my elegant editing. Anyway, so the trailer is going to be followed, yes, by the person that Margot got into this show, and then hopefully for the future there'll be even more. Are you no Jewish word? Yeah. Well, so if my mom's parents had lived, I would speak more Yiddish because they spoke a lot, and they thought the kinder, from what I've heard. I'm the youngest of 8. My mom's brother, who I barely remember, nice mustache, passed away when I was pretty young. Her sister is still in Florida terrorizing everybody. Not really, but she's not. Yeah, anyway. My cousins, so they each had 3 daughters. So 6 cousins and my brother, so I'm the youngest of 8. When I lived in New York and was hanging out, Fish's Eddie, by the way, in New York is my first cousin, the real Jules, she would say. Julie Store, if you've ever been to Fish's Eddie in Manhattan. And now the son that I took in the 90s when I lived there to see the re-release of Star Wars is now an artist. They have a graphic novel that they wrote about this thing, and it's great. And anyway, that side of the family was much more Jewish than my dad's side, who were in Baltimore, and I know more. So my brother David is named for David Silverman, who passed away before he was born, 3 years before I was born, and Sarah Silverman. Yes, Sarah Silverman, my grandmother. So if I were a female, I would be Sarah, mom's maiden name Silverman Rubin. But I'm not. But that would be funny, wouldn't it?
but I am less gross and as funny as her. So I don't know about the gross. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Dylan, I hope you're watching, because here comes your piece after the trailer. So that one is going to be introduced by Margot and Dylan. Not fluently sporadic. You guys are distracting me, but that's okay. Keep going. Please, I told you to chat. It's my fault. Everything's my fault. Rosewood Highway, original song. What's the difference between Italians and Jews? Not much. I work for Africans. I said the other day, what's the difference between crazy Africans and Jews? And I said nothing. The difference between a Jewish mom and an Italian grandma is really just, besides where they're from, is Jewish moms don't put up with that violence. For example, Scorsese's mom in Goodfellas. If that were a Jewish mother, yes, all the people showing up at whatever hour would get fed, but that blood on that shirt, that Jewish mother would know. Whereas the Italian mom, they never mention it. That's the only difference in my opinion. This is turning very racist, so it's fun. I do not believe in cancel culture. That wasn't really racist. And I do not believe in this heightened millennial sensitivity. In fact, I noticed somebody who's fighting with me on Facebook about millennialism just posted something on my wall as if I'm a boomer. Gen X, here comes the truth. I saw an article someone shared that I didn't read yet about how Gen X could be the generation to actually fix everything, but the whole point of us is that we don't care enough. And I mean, look, the next president is probably going to end up being millennial generation, so we're never going to get a president because none of them count. Anyway, we're not talking about that. Goodfellas is great, yes. Oh, the chicken soup is, you're right, because they put meatballs with pork. That's another difference. Pork, although most American Jews don't care about being kosher. Many, he said. I'm not being racist. I'm making way too many sweeping generalizations. That's what I'm doing. Oh, that's cool, Crip. I don't know your taste, so that's good to know, Margot. if I may call you that you like that kind of stuff. Some people just can't do the violence. Very violent. Irishman is wonderful, and Wolf of Wall Street. Scorsese's great, and his music docs. Come on, guys. I don't even like Bob Dylan, and the ones he did on Dylan are great. He did a 2-part on George Harrison, and I got to befriend his first cinematographer, Michael Chapman, who shot all his early films, one of the greats, and we agreed that we met when The Departed and Rolling Stone Shine a Light were Scorsese's things. That Departed is definitely, one of those things that was not his best directing, but he had never won. And Michael Chapman said, hey, we already made the music movie. Although I still like Shine a Light on the Stones, but I'm talking about The Last Waltz, Scorsese. Anyway, so not only can he do women, Little Women, and other things, Scorsese, he can reinvent himself, and he doesn't always have to have violence. Okay, shut up. Who cares about this movie crap? I'm building the suspense for Dylan. First of all, I haven't even said the last name. All right. So after Margot Cole's Crip Productions Stoker Returns trailer, and before the final piece of Rose Provon Grandma Speaks, Grandma Ike Roots Scams Jules, Part 3, is Rosewood Highway original song performed by Dylan Rothbein. Dylan, I hope you're watching, because if not, I don't know. From an original album, Even Though We Are Different, and then it's introduced by Dylan Rothbein, if I'm saying it right, and Margot Cole. Rose Provon after. So here we go. The fourth scene, I call them, and 3 pieces, and then cheers.
Are you okay?
Professor, are you okay?
Is the professor gonna die? I don't understand the point of it all. He said he had a stroke. But I was just so upset about all the crazy stuff that happens on the campus. And he started showing off, so I took my frustration out on him when he didn't deserve it.
Wow, I thought I was a blunt one.
Just because I'm disabled doesn't mean that I have the authority to...
Like this? I've worked so hard to get through this, to survive.
To endure?
That's right.
Oh, hi, Jules and Jules Works. This is Mariko from Crypt Video Productions. This is my friend Dylan Rothbein.
This is an original song called Rosewood Highway off of my debut album, Even Though We're Different. There's so much we can learn from the good old folks, from the mountains of down south, and from our elders of the Holocaust, with the melodies of yesterday. Rosewood Highway, show me where to go. Rosewood Highway, show me the way. Robert Johnson, you created rock and roll. Somehow show me the way of the devil's snow. Oh, rock and roll, I love you so. Oh, rock and roll, I love you so. Rosewood Highway, show me where to go. Rosewood Highway, show me the way. Show me the way of slow hand. The writing is on the wall. You are really God, the true master, a hitchhiker, singing labor songs, singing labor songs, speaking the simple words of freedom, 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 sweet freedom. Rosewood Highway, show me where to go. Rosewood Highway, show me the way. Rosewood Highway, show me where to go. Rosewood Highway, show me the way. Oh, rock and roll, I love you so.
Well, Jules, I'm out of money again. Do you think that you might help me, if you like it so far? Help me with another little gift card? Oh, thank you. I love online dating, especially if we don't have to date.
Okay, I apologize. I don't know why Rose's segments in my editing progress, I was rushed, got cut off there. She said, especially when don't have to date. Now, Rose Provine Grandma Speaks, I did mean to say, is an ongoing series, and she's done many in the live and the and these virtual, whatever the heck this is, pieces, and I think that there could be a whole show. But she's talked about topics from grandma smokes weed, medical marijuana, to grandma goes online dating, lots of Fauci jokes, etc. So I have some credits to read and the callback. That was the final part. Although I did text Rose, she started texting me at least that if she gets her behind in here, I'll play the whole thing at the end. Anyway, that was the final scam. And then Margot Cole of Crypt Productions trailer for the full movie Stroke of Endurance, which you can find in the Crypt Productions website. And so let's see here. That was Margot Cole, Joriana Cole is the mom, and Margot Cole's Ava, Sydney Batiste, Emma Lemonsky as students, professors Betty Lewin, David Salisbury, and Tim Sinoa, Jill Morello, and I'm not even trying to pronounce it, academic advisor. Students Mark Pauling, Pedrin Villamin, Johnny Diodato, Crystal Willem, Ashley Villanueva. But I am reading all these again, even though I haven't passed months, but without Rose, who's usually the one saying, "Why are you talking so much?" I am not even worried about it. Not that I was. Isabella Guinda as Bella, and Katrina Hazal as Alice. Margot, you got some not easy names in there. Written, directed by Margot Cole. Story editing by Georgiana Cole. Casted by Margot Cole. Shot, cinematography, Georgiana Cole with additional Tim Snoha, Johnny Diodato, Krista Williams. Music by Wale Sabri. Special thanks to the Kingsborough Community College, Laurie Zucker, and Jojo Tano. Super special thanks to Georgiana Cole. And it was copywritten in 2017. And then in the middle there, the Rosewood Highway by Dylan Rothbein. Okay? And our next set will have another piece from David Tom, Southern Barbecue, a short piece. Jim Jones. These next two come from are in our theater walk, sort of, but not fully and different. And you should check out Theater Walk if I said if I could give you more info. But it's Friday, April. I think David Tom is going to have me working with him that when it premieres, 16th, Friday, April 16th, theatersantafe.org will be where they will post how to watch. I don't. They may not entirely know whether they're doing it by a Zoom or YouTube. I think it's a YouTube. I don't know, but it's gonna. Usually, it's been a live thing, one of those awesome events where, for a few bucks, you get a wristband as a participant, and they take over a neighborhood here in Santa Fe, and in about 20 venues, 20 different troupes get to perform about a 15 or 20 piece. When it was live, you would do it 4 times throughout the afternoon so people could wander around. Last year, it was skipped, timing-wise, you know why. This year, they're doing a virtual one with the hope that by next year, it'll be live again. But who knows? No one can plan anything. But anyway, that's going to air in mid-April. So that's what this deadline and why I'm a little behind on this show, blah, blah, blah. So David Tom's piece and Jim Jones ended up, because I had to tell people that I needed things that were 2 minutes long. He decided to do a poem because he said most of his songs, as you heard, are 4 to 5 minute epics. He said, for a guy who looks clean cut and cowboy, he's got a wonderful sense of humor. But I love Jim Jones. He's been on my radio show a lot. So the radio show real quick, and then I'll hit play. And we are winding down a bit, by the way. So get your toast ready, milky, but not yet. Popcorn time, popcorn. I'm going to break open the popcorn in a minute. It's kosher. So I used to run the Santa Fe Film Festival with John Bowman, and I'm not talking about myself randomly. I have never gotten before. It's gone now. I think I showed it in the last live stream, but I'm going to show you, hopefully, Stanley, if he's still watching. Oh, look at the baby. That's a cat. See him? That little white thing. Use the F word, we're going to fight. And sure, that's Christmas tree, whatever you want to call it. That's Stanley Cat. Stanley! We love you. See? He's very sensitive. He got new mats. He sent me to the dollar store last night. So we had a flood and lost lots of our mats, and we've been replacing them. And he has a rainbow. In spite of ourselves, he's sitting on a rainbow. He's listening to every word. Stella. You can't see that far. She's on top of the fridge. She just looked. She's pretty much making out with my Drunken Poets Journal and Hayes Carl Cozy. So you guys, Lydia and Susan, feel free to be the ones, if you remember to point out in the chat, you saw this show proved to Hayes why I made him read my long tome. And if you want, and that the cat totally is in love with him, the little girl. I mean, why wouldn't she? I don't know what Stanley thinks of I don't know his romantic interests. I'll just say what he thinks of. I don't think he goes like that. No, I don't judge. Of what's her name? Allison Moore. I don't think that's his type. She loves gruff men who drink, drunken poets, and mountain hairy men, Todd Snyder weirdos. Okay. Was I saying something that mattered? Yes. Because you're going to see those two pieces. And then, from Avon Lodge Collective, the piece by Quest on Ion himself called Time Still. And that's from his Pot of Monsters LP. Actually, all three of those. Well, no. Time Still is not the piece that Quest Ion has in our theater walk. But he does have a piece from his Pot of Monsters. And as time is ticking, I'm going to take it away. Here we go.
My dear old southern home, I was happy as I could be, where the mockingbirds sing at night while I rest in that little old log cabin by the sea. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. My dear old mother and dad, when I left I know I made them sad, but someday I'm going back to that little cabin shack where I spend my happy days as a lad. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. Goodbye, friends, I'm leaving today. Goodbye, I'm going far away. I'll be happy as can be on my dear old mother's knee in that little old log cabin by the sea. Yodelay, 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 yodelay.
Change is coming. Go west, young man, old Horace Greeley wrote. Learn to rope and ride. You can be a cowpoke. Round up cattle, move 'em up the trail. Boy, you'll have some tales to tell. But after 20 good years, it's 1885. The country's seen the end of the big cattle drives. With the coming of the wire and the fencing of the range, looks like things have gone and changed. Then the 1900s came. They said you disappeared. Trains did the work of moving those steers. Folks migrated to the cities and the towns where a cowboy could not be found. But you were working on the ranches. You were never really gone. Sometimes things got a little rough, but you kept hanging on. 'Cause cowboy is a spirit. It's a state of mind. I don't believe we've seen the last of your kind. Now they're rounding up cattle using ATVs, and they have virtual auctions on RFD. But you're still out there. You still drag them to the fire. I don't believe it's time to retire. You can only look back at the past for so long. Shed a tear. Shed your fears. It's time to move on. It's a brave new world. It's changing every minute. But I know there's a place for the cowboy in it. Change is coming. It's time to cowboy up. Get your pony moving or they'll leave you in the dust. This ain't no time for quitters, but you're better than that. Change is coming fast.
Uh-oh. Okay, I didn't even have time. I was catching up with the chat, like you guys say. I can throw you behind, so I didn't fix the cameras in here, so I know you can hear me now, but you will see me in just 1 minute, don't worry. If you wanted to see me. I don't know. Do you? You want to see me? You do now. All right, it is about time to decide on the Superman thing, and as we approach the end of the main part of the show here, almost 2 hours in. Wonderful. So what do you think, guys, about Superman? All right. What do you think? I'm gonna turn into a grumpy old Jewish man speaking up. What are you talking about here? Now look here. All right. Popcorn is ready. Ready? Break open the popcorn. Woo-wee! So I was talking about the film festival because, and then I showed Stanley and forgot. You know those giant like holiday gift packs? Somebody that I helped get into the Santa Fe Film Festival through an old friend that I stayed in touch with. I'm sort of on the board, but don't do much. But got them in, and they sent me this huge thing. I don't know what it was. I think it was a few Jules Works ago. I was asked my lady friend if she could grab my mail from where I get it. And I realized that it contained both a really heavy box of something, and I had no idea that what the dude was sending me was the world's heaviest box. The guy at the mailing place put in her car for her that was filled with treats. So I saved the popcorn until I learned how to live stream decently, and here we go. Land Before Time is so good. They're both same director. There you go. You guys are great. Well, yes, we would always be sharing, wouldn't we? I have been saying for a year now, roughly, that wouldn't it be nice with the Zoom thing? Well, so like the first couple of Jules Works was a lot via Zoom to record. You know, May, June, the election one. Wouldn't it be nice if you could virtually, not just toast like we're going to be doing soon as the show winds down, but virtually send someone a drink. And yes, I have both bourbon and beer, and the reason why is that if I drank just bourbon, I'd be passed out quickly. If I drank just beer, I'd be bored, and I think that's the answer. I don't know. It goes well. So like, not that I went out much, but if I ever did, karaoke, I would like. I'm in a Zoom karaoke group. I don't know about if I make it tonight. That's been so good. And that's one of the things like the live streams. I'm going to say Todd this time, not just Hayes, because Hayes has got enough. He owes me. No, I'm just kidding. And there's lots of live streams. Sunday, I also started watching. Hayes was on once. Mary Goche, this is Todd. I can't do it. But look what my niece did. Star Wars. You can't really see it. Star Wars copy. She drew that. Stella. She totally is. I'm not kidding. She's like passed out on the Hayes Carl cozy, so it's her fault. Tell Hayes, please. Anyway, the callback. The callback. I could drink almost anyone at the table. Ah, yes, Susie, it might be. It's okay. It's okay. Rose has not had tech problems. She just got distracted. Well, I'm texting her. Well, we are still going. Okay. I don't know. Everybody give Rose a hard time, all right? I mean, you know, she had a class, but come on. I did 9,000 things this week, and I'm still doing this. Where's Stella? Stella, she's there. I can't zoom. All right, ready? That's my popcorn. See on the top of the fridge? See those ears? No. Sorry, I can't get closer. And you can't put photos. I can get a photo in there in a minute. Sit on top of the fridge, snuggling. I'm going to put a photo. I'm going to play the next piece, and then I can upload an image. All right, guys. The last pieces were... Oh, yeah, because Margot and I's thing has got a length that will allow me to go do that. But first, yes, David Tom doing a classic Southern home in his own Southern barbecue. Jim Jones' original poem there, and the original Quest Ion. And, yeah, we are at the finale pieces, which is good that Margot and I's piece is long because I do not have the finale music ready. But I do have, it is a conversation, the 3 questions. Can I ask you 3 questions? Can I ask you 3 questions is what it's become called. Like I said, I edited it very shortly as needed for Theodore Box Santa Fe. This is our entire Zoom from the other day, all the way from New Mexico to the East Coast. Oh, sun setting is pretty out there, I think. And then the toast finale will be after we talk. I'll just tell you, it's about 16, 17 minutes of very engaging conversation that you're going to love. Chat away, watch, and then there'll be the finale song right after by the Greg Turner Group. Like I said earlier, Greg Turner used to be, he would open the show. So the tradition's become he ends the digital shows. And then there'll be the bonus card, which you'll hear Margot say, which will have music and such. If you want to just have that going. But I'll sign off before I do that. But I'm jumping ahead just to help you plan. This is delicious. Thank you, filmmaker guy that sent me that. Huh? I had to wait a while. For one thing, I used to work at George Martin John Kaito Cinema, which is where we used to do the show. As I put on text on screen, the intro, instead of the host introing, well, luckily Zooms and David's video that you saw earlier have space so that me putting text on screen was time consuming, but easier than I thought as far as a simple color. And so I put text on screen instead of what the host would have said, including the intro of David being the first piece in the Theater Walk Santa Fe. And then I said that Jules Works, our mission, like I've been saying to you a little bit, and wrote, we've, over the 10 years, it really has. 63 is what I was saying was going to happen, live anniversary, and instead we did 63 as our first. I was in here for 2 weeks, losing my mind, losing computers up till the sun was coming up, and then the last couple nights up till 11 a.m. or more, tech problems. Jules Works 64 was actually 2 shows, and you can watch these on the YouTube. There's these performers and many others as a movie file. Jules Works Follies YouTube channel. 64, we did 2 shows, and even though it was more than twice the length of 63 because I had the experience of editing, it was easier, which also made getting a 15-minute piece to 60 minutes and 8 seconds a little bit easier than that first one. I said I survived a near-death artistic experience. That was insanity. And it was starting to get really hot, which I hate. And this house I got to get out of because in winter it's great. I've got windows open, doors, but in summer it has very little ventilation. And it's, even with 19 fans and a swamp cooler, it's still horribly uncomfortable. So anyway, that's not your problem. But that's why I said, Mayor, if that was you, along with Ace, secretly watching. And Todd, I know Todd's watching. Todd knows I'm his secret cousin, and he's going to let me into his next concert here in Santa Fe Free. He was about to play here again at the right after quarantine started, and so he didn't yet. But and we're New Mexico. We have a strong governor, so we're not. Nobody has set any concerts or live events here yet because we're not there, and we have a smart governor. But anyway, I shut my mouth with popcorn, and I'm stalling because Margot's final conversation is so good. Yeah, it is really fun. I'll accept credit on that one. Near-death artistic experience. Steal that quote. It's a great quote. I mean, almost any artistic thing. My mentor, Madison Bell, George Garrett. You guys know people. They put filmmakers, everybody, albums. Generally, it is very common for any sort of artist to say, oh my God, I'm never doing that again once they finish. And then quickly they do it again. When this started, Jules Works, my buddy Steve Rummel was in the show. He had acted a little high school, wasn't an actor, he's a DJ. And I didn't finish telling you about KMRD, so I will. And I got involved with that, telling with Jules Works. After the first live show 9-some years ago, he said, no, the dinner's fine, don't you worry. She's not even here yet. I can't eat dinner without. I love her if she's not here. No. It's all good. It was made to be reheated up. And it's got the Seder stuff. I don't even know what to do. We're going to invent a Seder. My grandpa, who tells us to drink our milky, used to say, hey boy, at the Seders, skip a few pages, let's get to the good part, which meant eating. So that's our religious. But I was saying, and didn't quite finish, there were so many they were more religious. My mom was raised more religious. They're older, and I would have learned Yiddish from them I hear from my cousins. But anyway, cousins, you should be watching. Susie, what'd you say? Great minds thinking. I can't watch. Read that. Okay, guys, because I don't want to take too much time. I do think I forgot what I was saying there, but we have, I'd read you the callback. So here comes 3 questions. Can I ask you 3 questions with Jules O's career and Margot Cole and of Crypt Productions and Teatro Paraguas. I was saying that we did the election relief release shows. One with Jean Cocteau, which was a link to our YouTube that you can now watch. The other aired through something called xerb.tv, xerb.tv, which has all kinds of content. It's really pretty neat. It happens to be VS out of Santa Fe, but it's global. xerb.tv and Teatro Paraguas, which you'll hear about in a minute, teatroparaguas.org, is the most wonderful theater troupe in town. Argos McCullum, who's often in the show, or I include, and you might catch a poem of his in the final post-show bit, and Jojo Tarnoff, who heard Margot shout out, and others that work for her, run, perform with her, and the board of Dutch Workers are all the most wonderful people. So we did a show with them that you can watch on the Jules Rawls YouTube channel, and in the chat that will come up. And I think, as we say at the end, everything will be okay. So I think it's time to play the chat and go right into the Greg Turner group, which is going to be also what I edited a movie. I do want to tell you something about Greg Turner. The Greg Turner group, for one thing, is Greg Turner, who was in the Angry Samoans. So with Brett Berman and Evelis, when I first moved here at the Aztec Cafe, and I put on screen, I was saying this, the words over David Tom and the Booth, that we, over the 10 years, we've done our show at many venues, live venues, and then I write in a moment that I could have taken 10 seconds out of the over 15 minutes, but I liked the effect was it said, without any audio, the words said, all of those live venues but one are now closed, which is the truth. We used to joke that we shut down venues. We never did, but there were venues that closed for various reasons over the years where we did our show, and we got saved by various people because sometimes they shut down without much notice. When we used to do it every month more consistently, and scrambled to get a venue. Cross your fingers. No. Your internet's going to last at least a half hour more. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. And Rose is here. Oh. Well, Rose, it's been a week. Okay. So, I'm going to play Rose Watch Margot before Greg Turner group, because I need to, during that piece, get your piece in its entirety to put up. You'll see Rose's piece once more, and then the last song, and then I'll come back. So the Greg Turner group, Greg Turner, I was saying, was in the Angry Samoans, which are an 80s bubblegum California punk band. Greg has not been sending much new material, or he has, and I've been having to make the videos like the one you're going to see, because he has a brand new album coming out and a book about himself. I'll at least show you the image, if not play the song from the last show. But yeah, he's got a following, very interesting, strange guy with weird friends. But anyway, first, Margot Cole and the Toast finale. And then Rose. Rose, you shut up. We'll be nice to you if you want. Tell us what to do. I hope you enjoyed it because you're going to see it again. Naturally. Well, actually, naturally might be in transit by the time that comes. So, yeah. Here we go. Naturally, at least stick around for the toast. Everybody else, stick around. And like I was saying, when you pick a handle like Naturally or maybe, because I was going to say this. When we were watching the Arkin brothers, Matthew Arkin is not the one I know, Tony is, and their father Alan, but and his wife Susanna, and I've seen their mom do her snickerdoodle dance in their stream. They do a live stream about movies, but they talk about food, and they're just funny. It's like this, but two brothers not together, connecting, and ostensibly they pick a movie that they talk about each week. So, but their banter is what makes it great, and they know a lot about movies. Oh, and Tony asked me to send him a list of westerns and sci-fi movies to do more of. But anyway, Matthew Arkin looked at the chat and said, "Oh, maybe she's Susan, maybe she isn't." So when you pick a handle, my point is, it can stick for a while. All right, guys, don't leave yet. Who's leaving? No, Lydia. Lydia, I talked to your internet. It's gonna hold up. I promise. I promise. As best I can. Okay. So one more time. Here comes a conversation between Jules Lord's Career Radio Nut, Stephen Jules Ribbon, and Margot Cole with the toast finale. Since Rose is in the building now, the piece from Rose, as it will appear in Theater Walk Santa Fe, if I can pull that off, and Greg Turner Group, which also includes Sarah Meadows and David Barsanti, with a video that I put together of clips. And it's a cover of Creedence Bad Moon Rising. So after the toast, it's going to be a perfect. And then I'll come back and we'll go into the bonus cut. Although after the toast and after Rose. Okay. No. Rose will be after the Great Channel. We're going to stick with the plan. Because we're sorry you had a bad day, Rose. But we're still going to be nice to you. Okay, so there it is. In just 1 second. Toast finale, Greg Turner Group, Rose's thing, and then I'll be back.
Hey, who's there?
It's Margot. Hello. I'm the one from the trailer of Stoke of Endurance, remember?
Yeah. Well, I've only seen you in the radio, but you're on the radio now, right?
Well, I'm sort of on YouTube and on YouTube again.
YouTube. Are we both?
I guess we're on YouTube, yeah. I guess that's how it works. I guess it could be radio or a podcast too, but I'm not sure how it works.
Oh, that looks like radio. Hey, wait, we're safe, right? Can I take this off?
Yeah, we're not in person. This is a screen.
That's so confusing. How do people keep track of it all?
I don't know.
Did they hear a word of what I was saying to that mask? I don't know. Hey, look, I don't know how to play this. Do you?
No, I don't know how to play any instruments. It's too bad.
No.
I only know how to direct and write, not play music.
That's good, because we tonight they saw some pretty good musicians, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love when you do the music.
David, Tom, Jim Jones, the maker Quest Ion, he's good. Quest Ion and David Tom are going to have pieces in the Virtual Theater Walk Santa Fe, which is in mid-April, right?
Yeah, that's coming up real soon, and I suggest everyone watch that because we're going to have Paraguas and Jules Works, and it's going to be real good stuff.
I think it's like almost 20 performers, and that's not on the radio, is it?
That, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was going to be streamed on social media through Theater Santa Fe. I think that's how it works.
I'm still learning about Stream, because I always thought Stream was when you actually spilled some bourbon. But
That's the old-fashioned idea of it. Now streaming means something else entirely.
I mean, Twitter, you had to call the doctor because you're having a seizure.
Right. Now Twitter is just the toilet bowl of the internet.
Toilet bowls are kind of clean. I think Twitter is more like the septic tank of the internet.
That's more what I mean, yes.
Yeah. You clean them, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Margot, Cole, so you're the founder of the Crypt Productions, right?
Yes, I founded Crip Video Productions, and we use the name Crip as sort of a way of reclaiming a bad term and turning it into something positive, because a lot of people have this sort of negative view of disability, or that people with disabilities are miserable. So I said, I'm going to shorten the word cripple and use it in the term Crip. And there's also another documentary called Crip Camp, unrelated to my films, that actually uses the same terminology. It's on Netflix. It's really good.
Yeah, I saw that on the radio.
Yeah, that's really good. That one.
I watched that on the radio once. I think St. Patrick's Day happened, and I feel like I'm looking too Jewish. When the hat goes up, I felt like I was looking Orthodox. But this is actually, that was an Irish roll that I bought in the UK, and so I actually bought this in the UK too. Speaking of Monty Python, when I went to London to see the Monty Python's last show.
Cool.
So I got to see Monty Python. I got a Monty Python cat that's up there. See it, sort of?
Oh, that's nice.
That's because they had a skit in the Flying Circus called "Confuse a Cat," and they had a bunch of lots of cat jokes. Sometimes not so nice to the poor cat, but that's okay. It was all.
Oh dear. Yeah, as long as it's done humanely, I'm for that. I'm big on animal rights too, as well as disability rights.
Oh yeah, no, it's Monty Python. They never hurt a cat or a fish or anything. Only made fun of. I think they barely even hurt each other.
That's good.
So Crypt Productions, and then let's see, over the past more than a year of Jules Works doing these internet radio shows. I think that's what it is, right? It's like an internet radio.
Well, I think what internet radio is a podcast. I think what you're doing is just live streaming videos. It's like somewhere between film and somewhere between radio.
Is that what it was hard to learn how to do?
I think that's what we're doing.
Oh,
So if anybody in the comments could just tell us otherwise, I'm sure.
that's that live stream thing, right? Live stream.
Right.
Oh, well, I can't even learn the word. No wonder I can't learn how to do it.
Well, everybody's got a learning curve with the internet because now we're all locked in, and the only way that we can like interact with the world is, through the internet. Because COVID's still a thing.
It is. I guess I shouldn't feel so bad then because I learned how to do it and I didn't even know.
That's true.
And you mentioned
sometimes improvising can work out.
Even with technology, you mentioned COVID.
Oh, I don't think we have to go that far. We don't have to wear masks inside the house unless a certain Fauci says otherwise.
I do what Fauci says, right?
Yeah. All we can do is be careful. And that is cute and fluffy like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
And it was Chewbacca, but that particularly. It's
yes, from Star Trek or something?
Star Wars, but it's like
Star Wars, yeah.
Chewbacca.
Nice.
So, Quick Productions, tell me a little bit about that. Why don't you?
Yeah, so if anybody is interested, I've made multiple films. They're posted on YouTube, but they're all together on the site called cryptvideoproductions.com. You just click on the film tabs, and all the films are there for free to watch with open captions and audio description for anybody that needs that as accessibility features or just because they like it. And Teatro Paraguas is teatroparaguas.org. And we're doing lots of neat stuff. Like in April, we're doing Into the Beautiful North, directed by the beautiful Jojo Turnoff. And I suggest everybody watch.
They better. If they don't watch that, they're not allowed back in Jules' books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you're landing, right?
Yeah.
And then that's PEATROPARAGUAS.org, right?
Yes, it is. You got the spelling perfectly. And I believe they're updating their website pretty soon, but you will be able to use the old link to get to the new one because they've already kind of finished that process of updating it, I believe.
And they've been like the most active with producing content and then and in connection with the
Zerb.
The radio TV station, right? That Zerb TV.
Yeah, it's kind of like imagine a Netflix, but for independent filmmakers or independent theater style things. So it's kind of like a Netflix without the Netflix part of it. But like I like the way it's laid out better than like a Netflix kind of thing. It's more like YouTube and Netflix, but like more aesthetically pleasing.
With a radio. Or no?
Oh well.
There's no radio.
Well, there might be radio somewhere on there. I know some teachers were posting lessons and there was audio stuff on it. I just haven't watched. I've mostly seen Paraguas do their work on it and a few other things.
Did you know that there's radio waves everywhere?
Oh, yeah, scientifically speaking, yeah.
No, sometimes they come through the door and I have to duck.
Oh, no. Yeah, we don't want them flying into that head of yours.
Not so bad. Usually they're good. They're good, when they come radio or whatever. But every so often there's like some kind of commercial radio, and that's where you gotta get it out.
Yeah. Hopefully my new smart TV won't pick up the radio that I don't want, because I think smart TVs can do that.
But you know what? If they do, just spray something.
Right.
Yeah, this is lens cleaner, but it works. Rid of all bad vibes. Any squirt,
Yeah.
Ooh, that was good. All right. So, Crypt Productions, anything planned yet or in the planning?
Well, I'm hoping to be writing some stuff for Crypt Video Productions. I also have some presentations that I do as part of Crypt Video Productions work that are coming up in April. Those are mostly private, but if any of them end up becoming public events, obviously that information would be posted on the Crypt Video Productions blog on the blog tab or the Tumblr tab. on the website.
And then what about the wonderful folks from Paraguay? They always have things planned.
Yeah, they have Into the Beautiful North. Right now they've got Manhattan Glass on Zerb, and they have some dancing on Zerb as well. They have Black History Month on Zerb, which was really good. I saw the live version of it, and it's a short play plus some poetry that this guy Daryl Wellington did, and he did a wonderful Q&A that's also part of the video.
So a lot of times, is it true that once something's aired live, if a person can't attend that virtual event, then Paraguas is pretty good about maybe with a little delay getting it available on Zerb TV through the Paraguas website and email?
Yeah, we post as much as we can on the Zerb site, and then I obviously do a lot of social media posting to make sure everybody knows when everything becomes available.
Cool. Daryl's wonderful. Daryl was in Joel's Works for quite a while, actually, years ago. It was a good addition as something a little more serious, but sometimes he would even join in our foolishness.
Oh, nice.
Monty Python. Let's see. So that's the info on Paraguas and Crypt Productions. Is there anything else important? I'm not good at important. Anything else you can think of important?
I think we covered everything that is important to my work and yours and Paraguas at the moment. And of course, if I forget anything, they'll tell me, but I think we're good.
I don't know. Important things scare me, but I guess that's reality. So we do these live streams, and Margot has been very supportive of them. Of the Jules Works Follies end of monthly showcase warp up the last Saturday of every month at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And I heard a rumor that some of the people you know out there on the East Coast and your students, tell me about that rumor.
Oh, so I sometimes teach this little class online about some filmmaking and acting stuff. And some of the students that I'm working with now had an interest in perhaps like preparing some videos and stuff for Jules Works. We haven't been able to record it yet because they don't have the equipment to do that just yet. But maybe like pretty soon we could do that as soon as I'm able to help them be recorded. Because they saw what Jules Works is like, and some of them do some really good voice impressions and have some really good other skills that I think would be well suited to Jules Works' work.
Wow, man! Somebody actually saw that show and wanted to not just watch it again, but be part of it. That's really crazy.
Yeah, I have, a fan base from Crypt Video Productions, and that's how I kind of found my students. And then, of course, anything that I do, my students or my fan base tend to watch. So now my fan base has become aware of Jules Works and Paraguas, and they want to try to be supportive of that.
Oh, hey, that's right. There's a lot of live stream crossover I've noticed where, I've got a few that I watch religiously. I suppose there's some irony that one of them that I watch religiously every Sunday is the Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder from the Purple Building by Todd Snyder.
Oh, that's neat.
And it's fun and very lively. And then every Tuesday, Alone Together Tuesday, with Hayes Carl, and I know some of us checked out Jules Works.
Hey, I like the little fingers. That's cool.
Yeah,
like
that's what.
Giving a big thumbs up.
Yeah, that's what.
Sign. Yeah.
Folks that like this stuff as we wrap it up, and they like our show, and when I say it again, we'll have to make some announcements because in mid-April is it the 16th? When is this virtual theater walk radio?
It's the middle of April, I believe.
I think it's like Friday, April 16th. Is that March? Yeah, Friday the 16th. I think it's.
Yeah, it has to be April. That much I know.
I think I'm looking at a calendar, so I think it's that weekend is when it premieres, and then it'll be up for a little bit. If the good thing is not Thursday, you know why? Because Thursday is Yom Hazmat. Hatzmut. My calendar tells me. I don't. It's a Jewish holiday. Is that an important one?
We're both Jewish, but I don't think we ever paid attention to that holiday, did we? I do Passover and all that stuff. I know that one. Of course, if my cousins are watching this, they'll probably be like, "You forgot that holiday."
It's literally almost Hazmat. HAATZMAUT.
I'll have to use Google again.
Well, a celebration of matzah to me, which is fine. Why not, right?
Yeah, Passover is the matzah holiday. You know, because they were escaping out of Egypt. That's the idea.
What's the end of Passover? We'll find out. Oh, look, there's a Yom HaZikaron. Who knew? How did all this stuff get on my calendar? Anyway, yeah, I think it's that weekend. So that's going to be, they spell it the British way. GHEATRE SantaFe.org, correct?
Yes, I believe they were trying to sound fancy, so they used the British spelling.
Ooh, well, I endeavor to do that sometimes. And that is.
I find British people to be very formal people. I'm helping some people in the UK with a project that they're doing, and it's very formal compared to the American style of doing things.
That's how they created Monty Python. They were sick of that crap. Monty Python anarchically came together. When they got sued 30 years later, they had to say things like, "We have contracts with Monty Python," which became a problem.
I hate to say it, but I'll have to go soon because I got to eat and I got another phone call.
You ready for a toast? Is that the time for a toast?
I believe it is, except we were talking more about this kind of toast, not bread toast.
Oh, what those darn tortillas anyway. I don't mean to make anybody jealous, but
I'll have to go vegan and non-alcoholic for today. I hope nobody minds.
Not mind. I am done. I can't do anything else useful. So, but the name of this delicious, at the beginning of quarantine, my love got me a bottle of, now I pour too much, Angel's Envy.
Very nice.
It was our anniversary on St. Patrick's, which is why I have the St. Patrick's theme. And so I got a new bottle. And Margot, thank you for sharing with your Crypt Productions fans and your Teatro Paraguas fans. Now, I do want to say Teatro Paraguas are very good friends. Oh, nice hair. And supporters of no, me.
I believe you have hat hair now.
Yes, I have hat hair. What works, we love Teatro Paraguas. We salute them. We salute Crypt Productions. And thank you. Any final words? I guess we better.
A good salute to everybody watching and all of my supporters and Paraguas supporters and Jules Works supporters.
Right. I was going to say, if any of those supporters support us, then that's even. So stick around mid-April, and then we're going to have to announce. That's what I was saying about if we're going to do our last Saturday in April, probably. And then I think we want to do one more full Jules Works Follies 65, which very may well be with the great Paraguas folks.
I would if I were you.
That's my. And I hope to be. Anyway, I think it sounds like it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, right?
Yeah, everything is good now.
Just keep laughing, do our best, and thank you so much.
Stay tuned for some music after this, because I've heard Jules play some good music, so you don't want to miss that if you don't have anything else to do.
That's right. The folks that you probably just saw, Greg Turner, Jim Jones, David Tom, Eric Chappell, you might not have seen, but you will. Zach Gentry, maybe you'll find more. Did I forget anybody? I don't think so. So, yes, thank you. Our tradition is ending the show with at least one toast. In this case, it will be one, and then music. Cheers.
Very good. Cheers, everybody.
I better drink and then turn it off. Drink and stop the radio.
The record button should be somewhere down there.
Leave it there. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is a finale piece of the regular show, and there'll be some bonus stuff. I know it's way too long, but usually the tradition has been the Greg Turner opens, and which he did for the Cocteau show. So I decided to reverse it, and Mr. Turner is going to do a finale of a cover that's very fitting. Turner has been busy finishing a book of short stories called True Tales from Hell, Hallucinations of an Angry Samoan, and it's going to publish here in LA. Gary Panter and Dave Lebo doing illustrations to be out in the spring. Greg Turner, many of you may have heard of him. He was in the Angry Samoans in the 80s and played around town. And yeah, so let's check that out. I kind of, somebody chopped together a little video for it, and you know the song, Creedence, Bad Moon Rising, but there's a positive. I mean, Fogarty's are great. And it's the Greg Turner Group, which means it's David Barsanti and Sarah Meadows in the band that you'll hear a little bit. And Jim Stoughton helped with the video, as did some guy. And so enjoy the last song, get a little dance on, and thank you so much. I'll be back to say goodbye. Goodbye. Toast. We're going to toast it after the song. So dance, get ready to toast, because I'm finally having a drink. Listen up now. Ow.
I see a bad moon arising. Oh, I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Don't go out tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I hear hurricanes are blowing. I think the end is coming soon. Oh, I see rivers overflowing, and I hear the voice of rage and ruin. Don't come out tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Hope you have got your things together. Hope you are quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. Don't come out tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Don't come out tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. There's a bad moon on the rise. There's a bad moon on the rise.
Hi, Jules. I just love chatting with you. How's Jules Works coming along? I bet you have a lot of musical numbers, but do you have any comedy? I've been working on a comic rant for you. But there's this little problem. You know, it's the end of the month, and I am out of money. Do you think you could send me a Target gift card? Then I could buy the props and have something perfect for Theater Walk. Hi there, my friends. I have a little makeup tutorial for you. And I put on my foundation already because, well, that's boring. But what I need, of course, is some color. Oh, my goodness. What a white person. So here we have some pink. Pink is good. Yes, let me see. Yes, that's nice and pink. And speaking of pink, how about lipstick? Lipstick is good. Yes, yeah. Now you can see my mouth. Yes, and then we have concealer. Probably I should conceal my entire face, but I guess this will have to do. And then I have eyeshadow, more color, of course. And here we go. Yes, this is purple. That's fun. And, oh, not as much fun as I thought. Let me try a little blue. I think eyeshadow is always supposed to be blue. And here it is. Oh, yes, that's very blue. Yes. And other eye. Now, did all of you get the Vogue magazine for the month of March? In it, there's this great article about eyeliner. Eyeliner is the latest thing. So I have my eyeliner pencil, if I can get it apart, and I will start on my eye and off to the side as much as I can do it. Yes, that's startling. And now, what about the other side? Oh dear, I can't do the other side. This mirror is not exactly a mirror. It gets me all confused. So, well, that's a start, but right now, I'm afraid I need to get some more props. Well, Jules, I'm out of money again. Do you think that you might help me, if you like it so far? Help me with another little gift card? Oh, thank you. I love online dating, especially if we don't have to date.
All right. Sorry about the. Okay, wait a minute. All right, hold on, you. Okay. Yes. Hi. Hey. What are you guys doing? All right. So we're almost done, but see the cat and the haze thing. There you go. There's a montage going, and I got some songs. So this is the pre-finale. Rose, sorry, I don't know why a word or two got cut off there, but I want to catch up with the chat. So you guys watch this montage and check out some music. As I said before, this is going to be a little bit of music. This is almost a farewell, but this is an impromptu. I just took these photos and put this together, so that's why I was joking. Boy, I'm good. But anyway, probably not. But anyway, here comes some music. Eric Chappelle, Zach Gentry, and what did I put in there? Yeah, I put in here 3 pieces and I'll come back. Oh yeah, so yeah, we'll see. All right, anyway, so I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Enjoy.
thought I was a saint. A lot of things that now I know I ain't. 'Cause I'm just a person and I'm one that showed up late. But it's better late than never in this waiting game of fate. And I'm just regular, but regular people can do a lot. Oh, I'm just regular, but regular people don't know what we've got. So do some good where good is due. The only thing stopping you is you. Just think about someone else instead of everyone inside yourself. 'Cause we are all, we are all chasing light backwards. The pieces come into view, changing faster and faster. The bigger picture starts to look a lot like you on your first day ever. Your first day ever. Before you thought that you knew. 'Cause the world used to be so bright it could leave you feeling blind. And all you could hear was the static that's playing inside your mind. It was the sound that it makes when you gotta leave another moment behind. And little did you know, you'd have to hear it in all you'd find. 'Cause we are all, we are all chasing light backwards. The pieces come into view and changing faster and faster. The bigger picture starts to look a lot like you on your first day ever. First day ever. Before you thought that you knew. Crashing sound of applause would mean that the song is over and everyone has stopped listening. beg of you this time, don't clap for me. No, just let the silence ring.
All right, everybody. Let's see here. That was Zach Gentry. Thanks to Jeanette Sills and her son, one of her sons from New Orleans. Speaking of people you don't meet, and we're upside down a little bit. And Eric Chappell, who has been in the show, made that album, was in the show live. Thanks to Johnny Broomdust. So big thanks to lots of people. And then I'm gonna put on one more Greg Turner song. And then oh, can I copy that? Cats? I don't know. Image slideshow. Oh, I can't watch. I think I know. Image slideshow. Watch. Okay, and then we'll come back and say thanks. So, here's one more tune, and then I'll be back for the farewells. So this is yeah, it's gonna be dope. All right, ready? Here we go, and then stick around for the at least farewell, please. Thank you. Love you back.
My heart is broken. I count the tears. Love reawoken. I ain't felt for years. No reconciling since I fell for you. And as the days move on, dear, well, I feel so blue. I chase the moments of the times we spent. We laughed together, well, it was heaven sent. But so far apart now, and when it's said and done, if I can't have you, dear, well, I don't want no one. All the times we held each other close, and the feelings that we felt that mattered most, still I guess that we're just like the setting sun. 'Cause if I can't have you, dear, well, I don't want no one. I'll check my sorrow at the door today. Still I can't forget you and what you mean to me. You make me smile and wish that you were here with me. All the times we held each other close, that we felt that mattered most. Still I guess that we're just like the setting sun. And if I can't have you, dear, then I don't want no one. If I can't have you, dear, then I don't want no one. If I can't have you, dear, then I don't want no one.
Okay, thank you, Greg Turner Group, Cat Montage, And this is the sign off. As I was typing, let's see, you're going to hear a whole bunch of stuff. So let me, if you stick around for the bonus scene, and then I'm saying goodbye. The bonus scene will have, and you don't have to watch, but you can, whether it's now or later. Well, yeah, there's a little something funny that we play a lot. There's our little trailer from thanks to Michael Handler's piece that I said I would put and forgot but didn't. The Stroke of Endurance bloopers. The Mackenzies are often involved, so a tiny little piece from them, and then more from Quest Ion and Avon Lux, the Meteoroid Elevator video. Some funny Jim Jones things that he doesn't know are going to be in here. Some things I found online of his, movie quote joke. A trailer we made thanks to Michael Handler and Sally Cat. Oh gosh, and now, once again, remember I told you some of these things are so long? So they don't see the. Oh, The Race is On by David Tom. Henry Valdez, who hopefully will have another piece, but life gets in the way. Visual poem, iLock from Quest Ion. And then we get into a little verbal. Argos McCullum reading a poem by Edna St. Vincent Millay. And Rainy Day in the Poetry, which will be an audio, and then it'll come back on for a finale salute the Cherry Deer. So you can watch all that or not. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm going to peek at the chat. Anything? Yeah, I mean, it's okay if you leave now, but you can stick around if you want. And I just want to say one more mucho gracias to everybody for, thanks. And like we said, April, stay tuned. April 24th, the last Saturday of the month, which is when we said we're doing these things, is my birthday. I don't know. And we want to maybe do a little bit, but that's enough thinking. Cheers, Bobby. There's a beautiful best friend bluffer behind me and food. Happy Pesach. And cheers. And y'all enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for the support. You're going to make a fella cry. And so I'm going to go get my hanky. And I'm going to hit play on the outro scene if you want to watch. Slurp. And that is where I once more say thanks to everybody. Thank you so much. Well, I thought that was great. What do you think, Buster?
Well, isn't it time for you to go home and put your mask back on?
Oh, right. Sorry. It's still Corona times.
Hi, folks, and welcome back to Jules Works Follies for this, I guess it's late February, the last one of the month, right? Maybe the first one. I'm glad to be part of it, I think for the first time. Whoop, let's do this right here. Well, actually, this mask's cool, you know, it matches the vest, but you can't, there's something you can't do with it, is play harmonica. Not a sound. So we'll try it this way. A little blues, put it anywhere in the show you want. Yeah, come on down. We're gonna have fun. Jules Works Folly for everyone. So come on down. We're gonna make it right. That Jules Works Folly with you tonight. Have fun at the show.
No, well, you're an ableist for holding yourself back. Oh my God.
That's a blooper. That's. You wrote the perfect scene! The perfect scene! No Academy Award for you. No Academy Award. Okay, so let's see. You're making everyone dizzy.
You're gonna make you sound me.
Somebody should probably come in and help me out.
No, I meant in the actual tape. Oh, good.
I meant in the actual tape.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Sit down. Honey, come back. Where are you going?
Huh? I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm Russian.
He cracked up. From there. Just walk in and, oh, Professor here.
Assume he doesn't. Okay. Sorry, I messed up. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I remember now. It's way cheaper than the dorms.
What do you think Santa left by the Christmas tree? I don't know. Probably a few. Yeah. What? Carrie? Yeah? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Yeah. It's a dream! Ah!
So Casey, you asked me to tell you about my favorite movie quote, and of course I can't just give you one. I'm going to give you two runners-up and then my favorite movie quote. One of the runners-up is from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and Sundance says to Butch, he says, "Butch, you just keep thinking that's what you do best." And Butch looks at him and shakes his head and says, "I got vision and the rest of the world needs bifocals." And I always like that one a lot. The other one that's a runner-up is from the original Men in Black movies. And Will Smith's character is talking to Tommy Lee Jones' character, and he's asking him how come they don't just tell the public about all these aliens that they're tracking down and everything. And Will Smith's character says, people are intelligent, they would understand. And Tommy Lee Jones looks at him and he says, individuals are intelligent, people are stupid. And I kind of have a soft spot for that one. But my favorite quote of all time is from the movie Little Big Man. And Chief Dan George's character has decided it's a good day to die, and so Dustin Hoffman takes him out into the plains and they build a burial pyre, and he gets on it and lays down, and it's this really kind of poignant scene where you think he's died, and then the raindrops kind of gradually start falling, and big fat raindrops, and Dustin Hoffman's standing there, and all of a sudden he looks over there, and you see him hitting Chief Dan George's face and kind of hitting his eyes, and then he starts blinking, and he looks around, and he looks over at Dustin Hoffman, and he says, "Am I dead?" And Dustin Hoffman says, "No, grandfather, you're not." And he said, "I was afraid of that. Sometimes the magic works, and sometimes it doesn't." If there was ever a truer saying, I don't know that I've ever heard it. I love that one.
Yeah, come on down. We're gonna have fun. The Jules works fine for everyone. So come on down. We're gonna make it right. That Jules works fine with you tonight.
Have fun at the show. Thanks, Michael Handler. Just made us a trailer.
The last high tide panic sucked from the beach, ready to sail out to the unknown. No point in staying on this island forever. Nothing here but people burning palm trees and calling it positivity. The smoke stings my lungs. Life is short, the ocean is terse. But standing on a beach with a scorching chest is not existence. There is more to life than the ocean hitting the horizon. So on this pastel night, I push a crude raft made of burnt palm trees past the surf. The nose pops up, throwing my head back as I struggle to paddle. Fright engrosses my chest as anxiety of not making it becomes real. The tide seemed right, but with a blink of an eye, all is not fine. My mind says, you will die tonight. The ocean rejects, throwing me from the raft, frantically swimming towards a chaotic surface, struggling for breath. Riptides pull me below. Pink strips, sunsets, evaporates to darkness. I've taken my last breath. Bubble words of goodbye, my life. Goodbye, my life. Goodbye, my island. This is where I die, under the tide. I close my eyes as my limbs go soft. My body descends towards the bottom of the ocean. It's okay though. I don't mind. At least I tried. In that moment of acceptance, peace falls upon me. The anxiety washes away. I open my eyes to pastel colors of an anxious free life. Gently I swim the surface of Pacific water. Waves are calm, the ocean lazy, no reason to kill me now. My hand grips a wet, ashy palm tree raft, pulling my body back up top. Life is stable now, so softly I paddle. I turn my head around, watching the island drift off towards the horizon. Flipping the vantage point, I stared at my whole life. I'm finally alive in the changing tide of my life.
You're a smart man, aren't you, Mr. Neff?
Well, I've been at it 11 years.
Doing pretty well?
It's a living. Cigars. The windows were closed and the sunshine coming in through the Venetian blind showed up the dust in the air. On the piano in a couple of fancy frames were Mr. Dietrichson and Lola, his daughter by his first wife. They had a bowl of those little red goldfish on the table behind the big Davenport. But to tell you the truth, Keith, I wasn't a whole lot interested in goldfish right then. I was thinking about that dame upstairs and the way she had looked at me. From last night's cigars. The windows were closed and the sunshine coming in through the Venetian blind showed up the dust in the air. On the piano in a couple of fancy frames were Mr. Dietrichson and Lola, his daughter by his first wife. They had a bowl of those little red goldfish on the table behind the big Davenport. But to tell you the truth, Keith, I wasn't a whole lot interested in goldfish right then. I was thinking about that dame upstairs and the way she had looked at me. I wasn't a whole lot interested in goldfish right then. I was thinking about that dame upstairs and the way she had looked at me.
Neff, why don't you drop by tomorrow evening around 8:30? He'll be in then.
Who?
My husband. You were anxious to talk to him, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, but I'm sort of getting over the idea, if you know what I mean.
Good evening. My name is Argus McCallum. I'm reading a poem called The Ballad of the Harp Weaver by Edna St. Vincent Millay, one of our greatest poets here in America. She won the Pulitzer Prize. She was the first woman to win it for her book called The Harp Weaver and Other Poems. The Ballad of the Harp Weaver. "Son," said my mother when I was knee-high, "you've need of clothes to cover you, and not a rag have I. There is nothing in the house to make a boy breeches, nor shears to cut a cloth with, nor thread to take stitches. There's nothing in the house but a loaf end of rye, and a harp with a woman's head no one will buy." And she began to cry. That was in the early fall. When came the late fall, "Son," she said, "the sight of you makes your mother's blood crawl. Little skinny shoulder blades sticking through your clothes, and where you get a jacket from, God above knows. It's lucky for me, lad, your daddy's in the ground, and can't see the way I let his son go around." And she made a queer sound. That was in the late fall. When the winter came, I'd not a pair of breeches nor a shirt to my name. I couldn't go to school or out of doors to play, and all the other little boys passed our way. "Son," said my mother. Come, climb into my lap, and I'll chafe your little bones while you take a nap. And oh, but we were silly for a half an hour or more, with me with my long legs dragging on the floor, a rocking to a Mother Goose rhyme. Oh, but we were happy for half an hour's time. But there was I, a great boy, and what would folks say to hear my mother singing me to sleep all day, and in such a daft way? Men say the winter was bad that year. Fuel was scarce and food was dear. A wind with a wolf's head howled about our door, and we burned up the chairs and sat upon the floor. All that was left us was a chair we couldn't break, and a harp with a woman's head nobody would take, for pity or pity's sake. The night before Christmas, I cried with the cold. I cried myself to sleep like a 2-year-old. And in the deep night, I felt my mother rise and stare down upon me with love in her eyes. I saw my mother sitting on the one good chair, a light falling on her from I couldn't tell where, looking 19 and not a day older, with a harp with a woman's head leaned against her shoulder. Her thin fingers, moving in the thin, tall strings, were weaving wonderful things. Many bright threads, from where I couldn't see, were running through the harp strings rapidly. And gold threads whistling through my mother's hand. I saw the web grow and the pattern expand. She wove a child's jacket, and when it was done, she laid it on the floor and wove another one. She wove a red cloak, so regal to see. She's made it for a king's son, I said, and not for me. But I knew it was for me. She wove a pair of breeches, quicker than that. She wove a pair of boots and a little cocked hat. She wove a pair of mittens, she wove a little blouse. She wove all night in the still cold house. She sang as she worked, and the harp strings spoke. Her voice never faltered and the thread never broke. And when I awoke, there sat my mother, with the harp against her shoulder, looking 19 and not a day older, a smile about her lips and a light about her head, and her hands in the harp strings, frozen, dead.
Wring your hands and wash your eyes, say a fond farewell and kiss goodbye. Come jump the fence, we're climbing to the sun. We speak our words, but I for one have had enough of words undone. So down the drawbridge for the truth we ride. Before this holiday's over and Monday morning comes to take us from our gardens by the sea, before we change into stardust, before one body sparkles off into another happily, let us take our arrows up and go off hunting in these woods for all the things that we can't see with our own eyes. Let us take our flowers up and carry on for love and good, reflecting light just like the moon into the skies, into the in this world of walls and corners, watching all the silent mourners, there's a tender hand to save the scene. Just a touch, a pour down from the sky and make us clean. Before this holiday's over and Monday morning comes to take me from my garden by the sea, before I change into stardust, before one body sparkles off into another happily, I will take my arrows up and go off hunting in these woods for all the things that I can't see with my own eyes. I will take my flowers up and carry on for love and good, reflecting light just like the moon into the skies, into the skies. Because my eyes have had enough of feeling so dirty, wishing they had a place to hide, or blaming the dark on a spark they've yet to try. A blessed spark inside a perfect eye, a graceful breed that will not die, buried in the soot of 100 million lies. So let us take our arrows up and go off hunting in these woods for all the things that we can't see with our own eyes. Let us take our flowers up and carry on for love and good, reflecting light just like the moon into the skies, into the
This is a song that I wrote with my buddy Alan Chapman. It's called Smoke with a Brandon Fire. It's a cowboy love song, which means it turns out badly. I am writing you tonight, dear, from East New Mexico, where the grass is getting greener, the Frio flows. I guess you gave up on me a long time ago, while I was standing in the smoke of the Brandon fire. I know this cowboy life I lead never much appealed to you, so if something's needing doing, I might as well get to it. I heard you're getting married, guess this letter's overdue, but I've been standing in the smoke of the Brandon fire. I've been standing in the smoke of the Brandon fire. I've been keeping my pony fed by stretching wire. Well, I wish I could tell you something different, but I'm not that good a liar. 'Cause all I know is punching cows in these angled Brandon fires.
Now the nights are getting warmer. It rained just yesterday. I'm starting 3 new colts this week. The best one is the bay. I wish you and yours a good life. So what I need to say, as I'm standing in the smoke of the branding fire, I've been standing in the smoke of the branding fire. Been keeping my pony fed by stretching wire. I wish I could tell you something different, but I'm not that good a liar. 'Cause all I know is punching cows in this dangle branding fire. I'm still standing in the smoke of the branding fire. I've been keeping my pony fed by stretching wire. Lord, I wish I could tell you something different, but I'm not that good a liar. 'Cause all I know is punching cows in these dangle branding fires. I am writing you tonight, dear, from East New Mexico. Sad.
All right, let's start with a couple downbeats here, boys. A couple hits. 1, 2, 3. Well, I feel tears welling up from down deep inside, like my heart's got a big break, and a stab of loneliness sharp and painful that I may never shake. You might think that I'm taking it hard since you broke me off with a call. You might wager that I'll hide up in sorrow if I might lay right down and bawl. Now the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch. Heartaches are going to the inside. My tears are holding back, y'all, trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running, true love scratch for another's sake. The race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. One day I ventured in love, never once suspecting what the final results would be. Now I live in fear of waking up each morning and finding that you're gone from me. There's an ache and a pain in my heart for the name of the one that I hated to face. Somebody else came out to win her, and I came out in second place. Now the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch. Heartaches are going to the inside. My tears are holding back, y'all, trying not to fall. My heart's out in the running, true love scratch for another's sake. The race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. Now the race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. That's a metaphorical song.
So I've got to do a disclaimer. I already did a disclaimer earlier about my hand being cold, but it's warmed up, so that's not a problem. But, you know, when people talk about, oh, I broke a nail, and everybody goes, oh, yeah, you broke a nail. Well, but when I finger pick, and I use a thumb pick, then I have my fingernails long, and that works invariably. About 3 or 4 times a year, I will break the most important of my fingernails, which is the one on this middle finger, and then for weeks until it grows out, I'm sort of stuck, and it's hard to finger pick. So I remembered that I used to have these metal things implements of torture, and I'm going to try them. But the real guitar pickers like George Inslee and Ken Gaines wear these things all the time. But anyway, so I'm talking about the Shadow of the Rockies, so I'm going to do this. And so we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, Randy, sure you say that now you're working on the documentary. You just saying that because I said that. So this is called Colorado Calling. Okay. You don't see that every day. I dropped the metal pick, finger pick, into my guitar hole. I hear Susan laughing in the background. It's always something. Rosanna, no, it's always something. Gotta get a beat. Where the heck is it? I see ya. I'm sure that some of you at least are laughing your tails off, and I have to do this because it's just going to rattle around, and so just give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. So close. Which is why you don't want to break your fingernails. I hear you, Susan. Shoot! Man, I should be drinking something stronger than wine, I tell you. Oh, Margaret Krause saw that. I don't have a stroke, Margaret. I feel terrible if you literally died laughing at me. There's no charge for that one. Yes, they do train pigs to jump into the hole. How in the world, of all the places that damn thing could have gone, it went right into the hole of my guitar? Okay, and so that's just a great introduction to this really sweet song.
All right. So I'm in the bathroom. I mean, I might as well just say I was on the toilet. I was on the toilet and somebody knocks on the door. And this is like 2 p.m., so you were already gone. And I'm just like, how do I go check who's at the door? You know, I'm right in the middle. I am mid-poop.
And so first thing I do is call out. I'm just like, who is it? And nobody answers. And so I'm just like thinking, and like, yeah, usually I would get some toilet paper and stick it up on in there and just like, you know, wrap a towel around me or put on my pants carefully and go see who it is. But you know, we're out of toilet paper. And I've been doing great with taking my short showers, but you know, even a short shower would take too long because there's somebody at the door. And then there's a second knock. And so I rack my brain and I'm just like, I know we have paper towels under the sink in the kitchen. And I'm just like, don't think, just go. So I go like a fucking pantsless ninja, and I go and I check under the sink, and guess what? We're out of paper towels. And then there's a third knock on the door, and, you know, 3 knocks, somebody can assume nobody's home. So I just go to the door, no pants, and I open the door just a little bit so I can hide my lower half behind it, and guess who's at the door? It's your girlfriend! And what does she want? She wants to borrow some toilet paper. Because last week you told her we had some she could borrow. And so she just lets herself in, as usual, even though I tell her we don't have any, and she walks right past me, thankfully not noticing anything, and she walks right into your bathroom looking for toilet paper, which she isn't going to find because you told me this morning that you were out. And so I'm just standing there in the doorway, like wide open, so I can just like hide my body behind it, you know, waiting for her to get back. And then she finally comes back, and guess what she has? She has our roll of paper towels, which I hope to God doesn't mean that you were using them as a substitute for toilet paper, because you can't flush paper towels. And anyway, she like gives me, you know, a weird look for the weird position I'm in, standing behind the door awkwardly, and she leaves. So when you come home and you ask me why I was rude to your girlfriend when she came over, all I can tell you is you need to not use paper towels, or find your own toilet paper from somewhere, or use less toilet paper, or take short showers, or I'm gonna lose my shit! Literally.
Take it away.
Pulled in as I was feeling about half past dead. Needed a place where I could lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? Just grinned and shook his head, knows all he said. Take a load off and ain't gotta take a load for free. Take a load off and ain't put the load right on me.
Right on me.
Right on me.
Right on.
Lord, now I picked up my bag. Lord, I went looking for a place to hide. When I saw Miss Carmen and the devil walking side by side. Hey, come on, come on, let's go downtown. She said, man, I gotta go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off, Letty. Take a load for free. Take a load off, Annie. Put the load right on me.
Right on me.
Crazy Chester followed me and he caught me out in the bog. Said, man, I would do you right if you would take Jack, my dog. Said, wait a minute, Chester, I'm a peaceful man. Said, that's okay, boy. You just feed him whenever you can. Take a load off, Annie. Take you a load for free. Take a load off, Annie. Put the load right on me.
Put the load right on me.
Go down, Miss Moses. There ain't nothing that you can say. Just old Luke, and Luke is waiting on the judgment day. Luke, my friend, what about young Anna Lee? Said, do me a favor, boy, won't you stay, keep Anna Lee company. Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie. Hey, put the load right on me.
Right on me.
Now go and catch you a cannonball and let it take you on down the line. My bag is sinking low and I do believe it's about time to get back to Fanny. She's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Put the load right on me. Yeah, Annie's had a hard time.